He's dead too. They're just falling left and right.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a lot of exec heavy attacks, definitely, from both teams.
Gets into the site, overdrive is on, and he is causing chaos. They did not expect this. The team are just obliterating.
Perfect. YouTube went live.
Be like full strength.
I think the one thing we need to do as a team together is just make actions and do it together. Something as simple as that. You don't always have to make an elaborate plan. Just gotta do what feels right.
YouTube is live.
There is
Twitch
so
is.
much history between those two
Is it
teams and
live?
those players, which I am sure will be serving as extra motivation. Let's bring the teams onto the stage.
Okay.
EG coming off of a 2-0 victory last week. Within, they showcased some premium Waylay play. We hope they got something good cooked up for today.
Okay, Valorant is now. Twitch is now live. Okay. Now I just gotta tweet out that we are live for both.
They're mingling, they're mixing.
Guys, you can't pretend to be friends out there. You're snakes. No.
Snakes and kittens. That's all I see on the stage. Yeah, let's talk about 100 Thieves. I don't know which of the two
right.
they are, but they coming
Thieves
off of a
taking
loss
on
against
Evil
Sentinels just last
Geniuses.
week, and they are looking to bounce back. They
Taking
seem to
on
be
an
nice
old
balance,
friend in
though.
Derek.
They do, yeah. The 100 Thieves players always bring in the good vibes. I think even after that loss to Sentinels, which...
Not just a loss, 13-1.
I mean, it's kind of just written in the cards. It's expected. That's how we kick off every year here in the Americas.
Yeah, and the thing is, as long as 100 Thieves don't have to play their arch nemesis Sentinels, they've got a pretty good track record up against EG.
Also, if my calculations are correct, Andrew, this is exactly where they were last year in Split 1.
According to my calculations, I have no idea. They're about to go. Wait, I mean, look, disappointing kickoff, right? Come out.
Might want
not
to put
so
my
strong in the
jersey on.
first
It's
one.
kind of
Okay,
cold down
I
here.
could get behind it. Could get that run going.
I got my
You already
long
know
sleeve
Potter
jersey
is
that I
getting
can
the team
wear.
hyped up there, talking about, you know, the club later on.
Yeah. That is exactly what Potter's probably doing.
Yeah, they'll get 100 Thieves involved there too, because in the club, we're all fam. For now, though, we are enemies. Where do we take our enemies, though? What maps do we want to see?
Well, I'm seeing the EG home field right there on the screen, which is what is expected when Potter's in this veto, right? Fracture, she has innovated Fracture so many times.
The original, like, Sova Fracture stuff, yeah.
Fracture was crazy on EG's champ run. That
Let's
broke
see.
everyone's brain. No one thought it was really possible until then. She had the triple ult plays for Heaven and pushing Defender spawn. And then 100 Thieves pick Haven, which is the map we were talking about, the double duelist they won on last week. They're going to be going against Waylay there.
Yeah, so it's like ISO versus Waylay ideas. That's the map I'm most looking forward to. Of course, if we go to Split to finish things off, hope 100 Thieves come out a little bit stronger than the match against Sentinels. That is bad news if we head to map 3, I think.
Is that another
Sorry,
map
I'm
we
getting the
could see
tweet out
Waylay
right
in
now.
Split? Would that work? Would you
I think
risk it?
possibly. It's a little harder to justify it, but I think that, yeah, I think this is a map where Waylay, even as a secondary duelist, can work pretty nicely with some other options.
I'm a weirdo where I could say you could work any agent into a comp. It just has a shelf life.
Yeah,
right?
that's fair.
You can get countered, but a Waylay could get a win today easily on Split, right? It's just, will it work tomorrow once the game footage is out? I trust Potter to cook up some wild game plans. We've seen it so many times. When she wants to win, the game plans and the ult plays come out, the bonus rounds come out, and the set pistols are just fire. I am worried for 100 Thieves looking at this map pool. I'm very worried. Fracture, even they showed their game plan last week, and then Split.
And yet we all picked 100 Thieves.
Yeah.
So
Hey, we didn't know what the maps were gonna be.
Man, 100 Thieves are gonna have to exercise some of the demons that we've been seeing out of them on this stage today. Personally, I think this is going to be a game of initiators. Which initiators end up coming up big? This guy on your screen right now, he hasn't had the best performances, you know, since joining 100 Thieves, if I'm being honest.
Let's see for YouTube. Perfect. Okay, we're all good. I am going to put my jersey on, though, because I'm getting kind of cold. So I'm going to do that real quick, and I will be right back.
It's just a completely different mentality here on 100 Thieves. He's trying to get into a more supportive role, trying to decrease the variance, but the team is suffering.
Yeah, and if you're talking initiators on the other side, I want to highlight Nature. Had a couple of big rounds, especially towards the end of Haven when it started slipping away for them. He's coming in with a couple of 3Ks, 4Ks to even up the score. I do like we're
then
seeing
we can
Killjoy
kinda
on this
lock
map
in.
from Evil Geniuses. The
Yeah,
one
we
that
can
changes
kinda
to
lock
Teo
in the
coming in,
match
so you can't
here.
just one-shot the ultimate. But I do think this agent has some of the best sort of attacking map coverage to, you know,
Right.
cover off a north
Got
side,
Asuna
south
on
side, the weak
Neon,
one.
Xander on Brim,
That's an idea right
Boostio on
there.
Breach,
Overcooked or cooked?
Cryo with
They're
that
cooking.
chamber pick. We
I
love
like it
that.
because it gets the
And then
op in
EU
Cryo's
on
hands
Teo.
while allowing Asuna to play the duelist, get space for the team. He's the wild one, right? He's the one that's going to lead the pack, get that space. Cryo's not really that type of duelist, but if you get an op in Cryo's hands, he can take over the entire game.
It does mean there's less sort of like passive information for 100 Thieves to work
All
with,
right.
so some options for EG if they're playing slow rounds to find some holes in the defense.
Yeah, I will say, you mentioned Ye on that Killjoy. A lot of these Killjoys at the pro level are still finding a lot of value against the Teo. You just have to wait for the missiles to be used, and then you
Let's
put down
lock
your intel.
in,
You might
boys.
save it
Let's get a
little bit
dub
off of
here.
barrier. You're ready to collect certain things. I'm
We're,
looking for
we're
Ye to have a
tired of
big day,
losing.
just
We're
like you did
tired
previously.
of 100 Thieves Val
Versus team, I'm
losing.
sure
We're
they
here
are
to
ready
get
and locked
a
in,
win.
So let's send it over to your casters for this one. It's the dynamic duo of Duck and Baby Bay.
So much so, we've got a really good match ahead of us, and I think there's a lot of history here, Dre. I think we start off with the fact that in this matchup in particular, and it's been a long time, we're going all the way back to when he was still playing. 4-0, undefeated, 100 Thieves up against Evil
Literally,
Geniuses.
yeah.
And the map count, it tells an even worse story. 8-1 in maps the way of 100 Thieves. It's been rough.
Yeah, 100 Thieves have absolutely decimated EG every single time they've played him. And I mean, something that's crazy.
Okay, so
we talk
historically
about is
we've
we're
played
not
well
seeing
against
Aeon
EG.
Chamber, but we're seeing Cryo on it. And the last
That's
time
good.
he played
That's
Chamber
good
was
news
at
because
kickoff,
historically
over
we
a
haven't
year
played
ago in,
well
like,
against
February,
Sentinels.
right? Which, I mean,
And
he
that's
got
exactly what happened.
destroyed on it. I mean, he played decent.
Here we
but-
go. Fracture, map 1. This is EG's map pick, though.
Samsung match start. Load up fast with Samsung SSDs, and we're going to be loading into Fracture again.
Then we got
Free map series.
Haven,
If
which
we
is
go
Thieves'
that way, it's
pick.
Fracture, Haven,
Which they looked
and then
really good on
Secret
Haven
as
against
the decider.
Sentinels.
Evil Geniuses on the attacking side, and we're already set up for a clash.
Oh,
Towards
shit.
Tower, Asuna getting stunned up, has to take a step back, and Xander is the first to fall. Icy on the swing, not connected.
Okay,
but
not
there
an
it does.
ideal start
Utility
here.
Already reigning supreme the way of Evil Geniuses.
Not
This is
an
a
ideal
textbook
start here for
They could not
the
ask for much
Thieves.
more than this.
Yeah, Cryo's going to have to pull out some heroics with his Chamber Dig, but
Oof.
he won't connect. And now
Oof,
he's
not-
left in a 1v5. Just get as many as
Oh,
he can.
okay.
It's looking pretty decent.
Good
but
shots. Good
what
shots.
A strong start from EG. All eyes forward and just hitting the shots. Honestly, dealing with that neon stun and slide very well. Asuna not being able to get anything going here early on. And I'm very surprised that 100 Thieves decided to choose the defense side first because EG, you know, they did play Fracture against Furia at kickoff and they had such a great attack. They went 10-2. Yeah, obviously the caliber of the teams is a lot different here, but EG are strong on this. So maybe 100 Thieves, Boostio and Zix think that they can counter EG's attack
Okay.
side so far. Not the start they're looking for.
Yeah, not going according to plan. A
This
lot
map
focused
is
towards the
so
northern side of the map.
kind of like
Defense,
complicated, I feel like, because there's 4 different places that
and sneakily creeping their way towards B.
the offense could hit. Wow,
And
Ye
look
is
to one
like...
side, but a lot of the defense is here. Ye holding
Dude,
the
that's
line
just
with
not fair, because
no
Ye
less.
can smell where the
Never
Thieves
miss a
players
beat.
are at through his monitor. You see how
I
close
like
he
this
is to
from
that
EG
thing?
as well. A little bit of a freeze to the round, seeing if anyone's going to overextend further that advantage.
I mean, that's
that
just
they
not
have.
fair, to be honest.
Derek is going to be swapping his rifle to Nature because he wants to be the forefront. Maybe get a little bit of contact play here. He's going to be an entry.
Not
Still
an
a very
ideal start
quiet
for the
approach here.
Thieves.
Usually 100 Thieves on their anti-ecos
2 dead already.
decide to gamble stack certain things. Now, a little bit spread. Boostio is now rotating over.
Yeah, well, I mean, you think about the beginning of the round, that's exactly what they were. It was a 4-1 towards B, so you're right. Kind of
I see the only one taken down for E EG.
Again, a little bit of draw of utility, but Derek's going to get a kill, upgrade a weapon.
30 seconds left.
Yeah, the only one left with the Sheriff, and Cryo's left in 1v4. 2 shots of the Headhunter.
I didn't even know they had a
See
Guardian
if
for
he
that
connects
skin.
Any of them, both go wide right. The kill goes the way of Derek, and that's a second round for Evil Geniuses.
I
100
mean,
Thieves look like they're
typically
sleeping right
you
now
lose
behind
the
wheel.
first 2
But EG,
if you lose the first
a
one.
blistering pace,
You
hitting
know.
every single shot. They came ready to play today.
Have your
Great
eco
start for Derek,
round,
too. 5-0 already.
and you
getting
got to
closer
get
and
your
closer to having
get your
that
money
ult
back.
online,
Then you
but
can get a rifle.
This This was
I mean,
rolling the years back for EA. That was vintage.
we gotta get
He's
one
been
there.
great
Though,
on
no?
the Sentinel role for EG. I think he's
We gotta
really
get one on
playing
that.
the role as perfect
Two
as
people
possible. He's
swinging.
getting a lot of first bloods, limiting the risk that he takes, but he's not afraid, and that's the most important thing in this current meta, is having a Sentinel player that is willing to take the fight.
Couple kills traded at the beginning of the round. Again, aggression from 100 Thieves.
Yeah,
Towards B and
I mean, it's
rewarded for
early.
it.
It's only two rounds. It's very early.
You have the numbers
This is
advantage.
normal. I'm not gonna tweak.
There's only
We
two
have
players
we
of
have
100 Thieves on
plenty
this site.
match to
Numbers
go.
in favor of EG, but they decide to freeze, and now with the
Plenty
position
match
on
to
the actual
go.
A side, this is going to be hard to break through. Oh, with that spot, maybe that rechargeable utility can come up. You can punish.
See, it's already a 3v4.
100 Thieves are doing a really good job of taking away some
We have
space, too.
guns.
I mean, they still have presence B. Northern side's being flushed out.
Okay, that's
And
not
Garrett
ideal.
swings his way into the 6th kill.
That's not ideal.
I don't think they were aware that there was another player on site. That smoke may work against 100 Thieves here.
Cryo
Just
is really
cause a
weak
freeze
right
around
now
for EG,
too.
Which, again, now you have the Teo missiles online. You have the fault line. You still have Superman with a bunch of smokes.
Yeah. You imagine they're going to want to pop on the other side of this, but the drone's giving away what's concealed
Ooh, this
behind
is
door number
tough.
1.
They can still pivot. It's
The smokes
crazy.
are helping a lot though.
They have time.
You know, lace those things up, man.
I mean, the only person that's going to meet them here is Cryo.
And he's got 20 HP.
He's so low.
Yeah, I don't know
13
about
seconds
this.
left.
They're going to get
Just
the
now
spike
making
down.
their way out to the site. Again, Cryo's going to be the first line of defense. How much can he get? Nothing. Not even able to stop.
Yeah,
the play.
Cryo's just too weak.
So the spike will go down, and all of a sudden, the possibility, the prospect of a bonus is at their doorstep. EG sitting pretty. EU and Xander left to try to salvage this mess of a situation.
And you still have the Teo missiles. You have another breach stun. I mean, he's used 3.
This round feels secured. I mean, as soon as there's a
Yeah, this is tough. There's so much
Garrett
util.
drops his utility. I don't know how 100 Thieves get through this. Forget about the tap. They do it proactively as the time continues to dwindle down.
You just gotta stick it at this point.
He's got to solve this problem.
stick.
He's already gotten 1 kill. Spike continues to tip away. Xander not even able to get half.
Oof.
A great start
Oof,
for
that's
EG.
not good.
Yeah, down numbers.
Well,
like I said, that smoke that delayed the hit even
that
further.
was their bonus.
in a
We
main
needed
works
to win
100
that
Thieves,
one.
And it makes EG just
Needed
go
to
for
win
the
that
obvious
one,
play.
that's
We're just
for
gonna
sure.
rotate back to the B site. I don't know what Cryo was hunting for in that moment, Doug. I mean, really.
What?
Yeah, that was crazy. But Cryo really kind of sold this retake. I mean, yeah, you're 20 HP. I get it. Maybe you can kill the planter. But it's such a risky play.
And it was a low time situation.
I mean,
too. I get why he made
I
that
feel like
play.
that's one of those
Ultimately, it
that
doesn't work
like
out, but
you kind of have to try and make a
Making
play
plays
there.
like that on your first
I don't know if you
turnaround.
can really blame him for like
Basically
throwing
securing the
it.
bonus for EG, who could just play utility on the spike. It's just a bit of a blunder. Bottom
I'm gonna turn this up. I feel like this sounds pretty quiet from my end.
aggressive stun, and there's a crunch. Armageddon dropped to try.
If that's too loud though, let me know.
He's dead.
He's cooked.
He had nowhere to go. Boosty will watch the rest of this round.
Ooh.
Okay.
Still a little bit of fight behind this spark. They have stingers. They have the
Okay.
headhunter, and they've got Asuna who's coming online. Again, a numbers advantage. 400 Thieves. The last time it did not go favorably, but that's 3 for the duelist, dashing around looking for the last. Concealed by the smoke.
Oh, that's tough.
Oh no. Oh. Right.
Okay, hey, we got the thrifty though. I mean, typically we're the ones getting thrifty,
And nobody
but we
saw
got the
what
thrifty
took
this
place there.
time, so that's
Forget
good.
about that.
We like
A
that.
great Teo ultimate
We
used
do like that.
from the side of EU. I mean, he's been sharp.
And
all
remember,
year
this
long
is
for this
EG's map
roster.
pick.
Yeah, it's just the start for him. But without this Teo ultimate, you can't force these free kills into a Asuna. That stinger with that one-way smoke there, there's nowhere for the EG players to go. So a good calculated attempt there. 400 Thieves. And this is the pace. They just want to keep running it down, taking map control. They are running the neon. This is what you kind of have to do.
Well,
Okay.
especially on a map like Fracture, right? You've got 4 lanes.
So
you
I
have to
haven't
deal
been
with.
as in the
It
Valorant
makes sense to
scene
wanna
as of
remove some of the
late.
variance and take some of those lanes away.
Are
I don't think Icy's actually spotted
Phantom's
Cryo.
like
He gets
more of the
dropped.
move now.
And that's the whole power of the Neon.
Because I
You've
still
shown
feel
one place,
like,
you have the
especially
chamber
on a
set up
map
the
like
other.
this,
is
I feel like a
the bread and
Phantom is
butter to this
kind of just
composition.
A
inferior.
lot of crunch happening on the northern side.
Oh my
Asuna
gosh.
and Boostio, brothers in arms.
Austin is just swinging, bro. No care in
Much
the
more
world.
bellicose on their approach. I mean, you mentioned it. You're going to heavily aggress on one side of the map, and then you've got Cryo and
Okay.
Chamber holding down the rest.
Yeah.
There we go.
Now,
That's back-to-back
looks like
rounds
he's
for the
warmed
boys.
up,
We
he's
like it.
activated,
We like it.
holding all those off angles, hitting the headshots.
Started
He's
with a
looking
thrifty.
clean right now. But yeah, none of that is possible if Asuna doesn't show his body there. And yeah, they don't actually full send it down B main, but the pressure alone of showing where the Neon is happens to allow Cryo to make plays like that, where you can just hold an off
Playing a
angle
lot of
and people aren't
corners.
ready for him.
We love it.
Team play, guys. Flawless. Good team play.
Now, will EG, now aware of that, be looking ahead to maybe use extra set pairs of utilities to try to clear out Dish, to try to clear out Cryo's chamber? He's getting aggressive here, though.
Huge first
Boy,
pick.
the tables turn real quick.
was
In a game
nasty.
like
Dude, when
Valorant.
Cryo's
Think about the
shooting,
start
he's
that
a
100
he's a
had.
beast.
It was dreadful.
When
Now
Cryo's
you've got
shooting,
Cryo
he's a
wide-swinging,
different breed,
just
man.
Diffing people.
You have Asuna running it down here, but he has so much support from his team.
Nature in a really nice spot. They are fully committing onto this. There's not a
I
lot
mean,
of
I
follow-up,
don't
though.
love these
He's just by
plays.
himself.
Boostio did get a pick though.
Yeah. That EG member is able to sneak up onto the B site, and now
I don't know. I don't love like
Spike is so
the
far away.
This
the
is an
solo
awkward
challenge
spot
like
here because
that.
You can try to accelerate and crunch on Yu, who's playing by himself, or Spike rotates back A, but they decide to try to play around their numbers.
Yeah, I mean
Hunt
they're
him down. He's feeling
Cryo
the walls
has to
closing
go.
in, but Cryo over.
Oh.
Shoulder there to help. What a shot from EU. Connecting
Oh.
on the second. Lands onto Derek, leaving things in a 1v1.
like
Spike
My
just out
gosh.
of reach. No armor for Superman. He's got to know the Cryo's close by. He's been on a heater, but Superman's
bro,
on the
come
trade.
on.
EG gets a 4.
It's Superman, it's Brimstone, it's Fracture. He's been doing this for forever. Go back to all the way FaZe, go back to Rise days, beating Optic. He's been a menace on the
Damn,
Brimstone
man.
on this map.
See, like
And he
I
brings
don't
the round
know. I
back
just
to them
feel
100
like
Thieves. EU.
I'm not good at Valorant. I'll
did
just be
so
straight
much
up,
work.
so
I
I
don't
can't
know
really
how he
like
gets the
speak on
kill
it. But like
when he missed jumps there.
it just seemed like so
Even
many
he's laughing. He's like,
solo chows.
But EG, a good
know what I
recovery,
mean?
And maybe 100
Like-
Thieves getting a little bit too overeager with numbers up. Fast A main control here and a bit of a passive setup from 100 Thieves.
Icy's cooked, man.
Oh, huge.
The response from Boostio with his ult was perfect. And now,
Oh,
3 for Boostio.
Boosty. Okay.
Spray
Okay.
control was looking so good right there. Yay.
Yeah, Brandon, I am
Amongst all
I
that
am
commotion,
trash at
doing his
Valorant.
job, walking all the way up.
I just straight up stopped playing it. I'll watch it because I like watching it. I like the game. I'm just so bad at it, and it makes me so angry. I stopped even trying. I gave up on Valorant completely. I haven't played in
situations before where 100 Thieves have had
I don't know
numbers
how
advantage
long.
that has kind of slipped away. So not out of the woodworks quite
It's like
yet.
one game that makes me tilt so easily.
To play with
So
from the
easily.
side of 100 Thieves.
I just
And
chalked
you
it
can
up.
Really
Called it
meticulously
quits.
clear out a lot of these corners.
No more for me.
With that spike being planted, they're gonna do a little bit of a jump start there.
Derek committing to it, 2 points away from his ult. Yay, one off of his.
I just feel like I've played the game for a
Good
long
balls on the
time and I
strike,
haven't
too,
seen
to
any
delay.
progression,
Spacing here is big.
really,
Depending on how
or
they
it
swing
feels
out,
like no
Hunter's not
progression.
gonna see
So
any
it's
of
just
them.
kind of like, what am I doing
Pushing
playing
up
this
in his
game
spawn,
anymore?
concerned with where that's coming from.
He's in such a good
Realizing
spot.
now, 2 spotted, yay.
Okay.
You imagine those comm coming through, waiting for the right time to swing, the right time to peek. Armageddon gonna flush him out of
Huge.
the corner. Derek not able to connect onto anything. It's Boosty S4 on the round.
Nice. There we go.
Cleans it up. No mishaps this time.
Yeah. Checking
There
off
we
all the
go.
boxes on that retake was 100 Thieves, using good utility, using good spacing. Cryo was posted with an op on an angle while the teammates walk up, and Boostio on this spray transfer. That was beautiful, man.
Yeah, and
Yeah, same, Brandon. Like I get, the crazy thing is I have times where it's like I feel like I'm getting the headshots and I feel like I'm shooting pretty well, but then I have situations where it's like
Icy, who's been honestly, he's been looking so
I'm
good
in,
for the side of
you know,
EG.
my
He
peak is
now sitting at
probably
1 and 7, not
gold,
really able
I
to
think,
get
like
anything
gold
going.
1,
And it's gonna be a timeout.
and it's like every time I like jiggle peek a corner, I'm getting one tapped, and I'm like, dude,
bring things back into their
I
favor. They started off
see
hot,
other
they were up
people
3-0,
talking
they
about
found the
like,
bonus.
you know, what it's like to play in gold and how bad these
That one
players
round
are,
that they let slip away,
and I'm
that
like,
Thieves, thrifty.
those gold players are not
just
doing
swings
that
momentum.
to me. Like
Now, a
every
map
time
like
I'm
this
in
that's
a
extremely
Val game, I'm
attack-sided.
getting one tapped when I
This
like
meta
jiggle
that's
peek a
extremely
corner, and
attack-sided because of all the
it's just
utility
like
you have for post-plant.
everybody in gold that I play against
Getting a little
seems
bit
to be
uncomfortable now.
like insane at the
Honestly,
game
just settle.
mechanically.
Like I said,
I
the
just
big
I don't
strength of EG
I don't get it.
has been their attacking sides. Their defense has been
I will say
lackluster on
too, I'm not a
multiple
big
ends.
fan of the player base of Valorant.
Fracture
Like
being one of them.
everybody's just so
Furia, most of the
cringy,
rounds
I
they
feel
won
like.
were
They're-
against EG's defense.
Yeah.
They all have insane egos, and then like they're playing in low elo
See,
and get upset when they have a player on their team that doesn't play well,
after this
and then they like
timeout,
vocalize
Potter,
it
no
to the
stranger
entire
to
team and just like throw the
doing some
game
cheeky
instead of
set plays
just
with
trying to
light
like
buys.
close
That's
the
why you're
game
seeing
out.
2 Vandals out from Ye and Icy, a stinger in the hands of nature. And we do have the Killjoy ultimate online. Derek is one
Yeah, I
away
mean they're if
from
they're
those Tail
feeling the pressure,
missiles.
that's good. We need
9-5.
that.
He had a great start, and he, along with the rest of EG, is kind of slowed down here.
Mhm.
A lot of focus towards B. And Asuna is here.
I don't even know what some of the abilities,
All of that
like some of the new
utility
abilities are.
to help around. They know exactly where
Like
IC
the names
is.
of
Once
them.
again, the duelist has been neutered.
Okay,
Asuna gets the
Asuna
second, not able to control
gets
now the third, but
2.
Bustio arrives just at the right time.
Just absolutely stuffed. Everything on Ye here, and he does win the 50-50 against Xander. A bit of pressure relieved now for Derek.
Oh,
A bullet sure a silhouette around him.
I hate when that happens. You know somebody's gonna be in a spot,
I mean, this is
and
very
you
difficult. Running
you're
into an
ready for the
outlaw
gunfight,
with a
and it
ghost.
just
This guy has
barely
2
misses.
shots. He doesn't even need them. That's
Nice.
just free.
There we go.
99 for
Tied
100
up.
Thieves.
Tied
And
up
the
game
reclear
here.
that we just saw from 100 Thieves, that set piece utility, that was so
Tied up ball
wonderful
game.
to watch. It was something that was kind of missing that Sean was pointing out. Like some of the util was off the mark in their last match against Sentinels. Well, no stops were missed here. Even that wall to come up and holding, getting the trades, follow up Brimstone.
This is
ultimate.
why I've said like the Thieves Valorant
Thieves are
team
looking
has
very
the
reversed
talent.
now, a
They
lot
definitely
more
have the
clean
talent.
than what we saw against the Sen matchup.
I feel like we just haven't
Clean
seen
what we
it
saw at the beginning of the match.
like
And
pan
now
out
look at the
yet.
economy. Because you try to go for these cheeky, force buy plays, you have 2 Guardians in play, a Sheriff, only 1 Vandal.
yeah, this is a tough
Does
buy
KJ
for
ultimate
EG.
get any value? It's aggression again from Asuna.
Getting a bit more than he bargained for there.
See, the only thing for
But
me
third time
is
the
like
charm, or so they say.
we've had several times now where Asuna's kind of just ran it down and gets
So far on the
picked,
other side of the map,
and
I
then we're
think
put in a 4v5.
concerned with the potential of a rotate around, but the site is all evil.
I just don't feel like that's the
Yeah, this is
best
gonna be a very
play,
hard
you know? I don't necessarily blame Asuna. I mean, obviously he's the one doing it, but like that
It's the
seems
only
like it's a
player
play
that's gonna try.
call, because otherwise he wouldn't be doing
This
that.
outlaw. It's a fast retake though. This is very good from 100 Thieves.
That's a really good nade. Icy managing
Okay.
to dodge the flames, licking around his ankle,
Good
staying
molly.
alive. But it's a dangerous game he plays. Again, Xander looking to go aggressive, not concerned about the defuse, wanting to try and take those fights.
I think that Molly misses.
Oh.
Oh, that's just off the mark. Again, dancing with fire. Xander's just gonna hold it, or at
Oh.
least try to. Got it to half. Ye
Oh,
on the swing. Ye gets 2. A 1v1 now with Nature waiting on the other
Cryo
side.
has to-
Flashed by a little bit
Cryo
of time.
can't do it.
Cryo, not enough there.
damn.
That's around the way of the attack.
Maybe.
Another post-plant win
Hit
for
him.
Evil Geniuses. That Killjoy ultimate giving them that entire site. A good
Yeah.
conversion on what was a very
That's
scrappy
good.
buy. But the economy
Nice.
still not looking that great.
We love
What a
that.
shot from Supa to open things up onto Asuna.
Good.
I have to point out that the pace in which
We love
100 Thieves
that.
are playing this defensive side, it almost feels like they're the attackers.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just full sending it.
Sounds
And for good reason. It's worked a lot of the half. This disruption against EG, not really allowing them to set up, do their defaults very, very well. It's A main pressure again, but on the other end, free dish control.
Yeah, no one's home. That little guy goes.
Oh, he
See,
sees
like,
him.
this time it worked, right?
We've
like this
seen
time it worked.
look
He
a
got the
couple of
opening
times here
pick.
where Asuna's just dashing out
But when it
towards
doesn't work,
the
it's like
spawn
So confident with it.
and finding success.
that's a big problem.
That's 1 kill found. 1 name claim, looking for more. Derek succeeds as Asuna still playing towards sand.
The 3v4 here.
Yeah, he did. Even finished stage with sight, and again,
Okay.
Asuna going aggressive, pops the ult, and pops Derek too. Things have fallen apart for Icy
Nice.
very quickly.
There we go. There we
Asuna
go.
carrying this round. I mean, that first kill on the Superman, he just knew somebody was hiding behind that box. The jump spot confirms the info. The stun into the slide. No one there quick enough to trade Super in that moment. And it was a good reaction from EG, you know, speeding up drop. You kind of have to make that play. But the operator from Cryo rotating
I don't know
in.
what happened to the Golden
It's a reload,
Destiny.
and
I've
this is such an
been waiting for
impactful
them
kill.
to
This
hop
is
in.
just intuition to the
They're
max. This is the
typically
plays that
typically
Six was
on it
talking
when I
about.
go live. It's weird when they're not
I mean,
in here.
forget a support. You can't really support on Neon in this case.
It's weird when
He's
they're
the main
not in here.
character.
I can't lie.
He is playing with confidence.
And it's not like he hasn't gotten punished before. So for
No.
EG,
I feel like
wow, this
every
guy just keeps
time-
going for it, like,
Every time
what
I
is going
tweet
on?
out
As he should.
Crowd's in a bit of a
with a
pickle.
link
Oh, stop me.
like
You've heard
tagged,
this before. Asuna goes
my
aggressive,
tweet always
but
does
this time
worse.
There's a trade.
He just doesn't care right now. Showstopper
So it's like
popped
every
to
time I try to
confirm
post
site.
that I'm live,
No one at the other end of it though.
I feel like it never
We've seen
works.
how good EG are in these post plants when they're up numbers.
And there's certainly that.
Yeah,
Gay has a Marshall. Derek with a Ghost, but full sight control.
Launching smoke. Spike planted.
Remember, there's no go button here. Asuna is dead.
Yeah, and you still have an operator in play too. This is a very difficult retake. It's maybe one that you might want to concede, or maybe Crowd just drop the op. Go in with that headhunter.
Yeah, they've got money.
Exactly. I mean, they should definitely be doing damage right now.
Or at least attempting to, and that's exactly what 100 Thieves are going to reckon with. Xander
Don't
on the
have
flank,
a ton of
spotting
time.
two, and not connecting on any of them.
Yeah, and everybody's dead.
EU, the last one standing. And I don't know that he's
Just
going
gotta
to
save your gun at this point.
Very,
got
very
smoked
difficult to
there.
come back into that round after being down 2 players so early on. I think first like 15 seconds
Kinda
of the
got
round.
smoked there.
I mean, the round is basically lost
Yeah,
at that point.
there's not much to work with there
Right.
for the remaining 3 members, but
Thrifty.
wanting to die by the sword is
Okay.
100 Thieves. Sticking to that aggressive playstyle. EU gets ultimate online because of those 2 exit kills. A bit of an oversight from Evil Geniuses here. I mean, maybe
At
he
this
could've gotten it
point,
anyway, farming
ideally
some orbs,
we
but
close this one
you
out
don't have to risk your body for it, right?
at 6-6
I
going
mean,
into the
Asuna,
half.
He truly does not care whatsoever in this match.
Well,
Playing.
it's been successful.
Yeah,
It's worked.
it has. 5 rounds on the defensive side is
I feel like
pretty
it's
good
worked
for
at
100 Thieves. I'm
worked at
very impressed
times.
so far.
Well, attack
I
side
just
up
feel, I
from
don't know.
Derek.
Again, I'm not a pro Valorant player here, so like I can't really speak on it,
The ult
but
from Cryo, yeah, waiting on
him
the
being
other
like
side.
super aggressive
Pushed back by the crunch.
There's no
when
place
it
to
doesn't
play
work,
there.
I feel like it really hurts. But I mean, if this is
wasn't allowed to play the
more of an
round.
offensive sided
utility was
map and we
insane. I mean,
you know
the
we
way that
close it
they're
out,
using
break
this Neon
even,
to
that's I feel
run
like
it
that's pretty
down.
good. So
The op has been dropped, and it's full acceleration towards B. They managed to control out of the site. Keep an eye on EU's ult. As you mentioned just a couple of moments ago, the Brimstone's going to cause some problems too. Xander finding just enough space to stay alive, and now the Armageddon in play.
gosh, so
Are you
much
kidding me?
util.
It doesn't quite hit the mark though.
Just barely staying alive. Between a rock and a hard place, and the kills erupt the way of 100
There we
Thieves.
go. I didn't even notice what happened. They were
even
swapping
though the
cameras
Drill
so much.
Ultimate
I didn't know
doesn't get
whose
any
POV
actual
was
kills,
what. I didn't know
it
what
gives you
happened.
all
But
that
hey,
free space
we
control,
tied it
and
up
you're
to
able to just
6.
stick the spike.
We love
Get it to
that.
half at the very least. Creep into the smoke into heaven.
We love that.
EU, Cryo, Boostio, all sitting at 11 kills apiece. Sean said it was going to be the battle of initiators. I think that's what we've been seeing so far in this
I
game.
didn't realize we won the round either. We killed them all so quick, bro.
Same. EU was in the game and he didn't even realize.
It was almost simultaneous. A 6-6 half, a break, and the conclusion of Fracture on the other side of this.
Oof, stuck paying for that old phone? Don't be. You know, at Verizon, we'll pay off your
Now
phone.
we got
And
these
you'll get
ads
iPhone
here.
16 on us. That's a value of up to 16.
I don't want to listen to the ads personally. Well, guess it doesn't matter. It was just one quick ad.
a 6-6 half to start off Fracture, and I think Dre, at least I didn't expect for it to go that way, given how EG looked off the bat, given how things were going so well their way.
Sorry, I'm looking for the posts for the
whole time.
I mean, just not allowing EG to breathe.
For the Thieves
it was
matches
such a
here.
Fast-paced defensive side from 100 Thieves. It truly felt like EG couldn't get set up. Now, when EG actually got the spike planted and things were slowed down, that's where they shine. That's where they look like the better team. But now you're on the defensive side, and I just feel like 100 Thieves are going to run it down 2 times as fast. I guess we'll see right here, as it's going to be an arcade hit off the rip. A 4-1, Brimstone alone in B main.
That breach is going to be out of the play.
Here we go. We got ourselves an offense here, and I'm sure with how aggressive Asuna was on defense that he's probably going to be pretty damn aggressive on offense as well. So
I see smoked out of it. They have to get the side up, but there's nowhere for them to go.
Which I think is much better for the Thieves offensively.
1-for-1 now.
It is 4v4 though.
From either side.
Trying to get bombed down.
Bro, they're gonna want to go. It's been down low this
gosh.
entire time.
What?
Huge from Icy. Busio's left in a 1v4, and that was the first time where it really felt like they were punished by some of that aggression.
Yeah, he's gonna shoot him in the back.
I mean, hold on. It's easy pick'ems for Ye.
Well,
but I'm so
good to know that the Thieves still struggle on pistol rounds. That seems to be historically accurate.
Have the poise and the confidence to,
we don't tend to win those.
Nature's got my back. I'm gonna kill everybody.
You would think after several years
it's just so hard to connect
and
on somebody
multiple roster variations, that would change, but I feel like pistol round is like a Thieves curse.
Completely ignoring Asuna in this moment. And that was the win condition. For him to make that split-second decision just shows how far he has come as a player.
I wonder here how many more times we're going to see that where 100 Thieves are going to be in a position where they're going to want to scale up and aggress, and EG kind of play that push and pull, knowing what's coming.
Just hold, huh?
Hey, but look at that 100 Thieves classic skin. Buy the bundle.
Towards A.
If you haven't already, buy that bundle. If you're playing Valorant,
Again, they're picking the site that has 3 members
buy that
here.
bundle, baby.
Not only that, there's a massive gun advantage. That doesn't always work out, though, and we're already seeing some of that in play. Xander getting the first, Nature on the trade. This is getting messy.
Yeah, Flurry back and forth now.
They have a Spectre and a Marshall.
Oh,
that's big from Cryo.
Oh, Cryo. Don't do it to him.
Managing to stay alive. This one is
okay.
But Derek gets 3.
Wow, that's awesome.
Trying to drag this thing over the finish line.
That's really cool, actually.
Xander weak. Derek upgrading a weapon. That's bold. That's dangerous.
Wow.
He's got so much to do here. Salvo's just now coming back up online. Maybe try to provide a little cover, but he's guessing. And unfortunately for him, unfortunately for EG, he's guessed incorrectly. Xander fully on the wrap. Upgrades a weapon as well.
Nice.
And that's a thrifty for 100 Thieves.
Another thrifty for the Thieves.
For EG.
We absolutely love it. I've seen too many times where it is a 1v3 or a 1v4, and we all swing at the same time, and everybody somehow dies. Valorant is the only game that some stuff like that can happen, man. I swear.
Yeah, I mean, he should have died there.
CSGO as well, tactical shooters, I should say, but from the stuff that I watch or that I've played, that's the only game that stuff like that happens. And boy, is it brutal.
Side and still taking so much space on this Neon. All of Arcade and now Underpass being cleared out. There's only a couple spots EG can be in.
Nice.
That's a great start.
Good first blood.
Superman not really having the tools to fight back with.
Just disrespecting EG by just using their body. Asuna has just been running it down time and time again. Now grouping up with his team.
Yeah, having to take a step back.
I mean, the fact that Asuna just runs it down has got to kind of stress you out a little bit.
How much damage can they do? Boostio going to take a little bit. Still staying alive, and again, they have so many tools at their disposal here. I mean, fully set up on the Arsenal.
Huge.
Getting a little bit closer.
Huge.
Result online. A flawless round is 100 Thieves take the lead
Flawless
back.
for the boys.
The
We love
weaponry
it.
was,
We love
you know,
to see
not
it.
there for EG.
That puts us
Obviously,
up
it wasn't
8-7.
Eco round, but it's just the way that 100 Thieves are approaching this matchup specifically that is so disrespectful in their play, I feel like. I just feel like they just have no care.
It kind of is, to be honest, if you think about it. It kind of is a little disrespectful from the Thieves. Like, Austin is just running them down. He doesn't care. He gives
all the way up
no
to the top
care.
Of the scoreboard here.
15-9 on the chamber. Light armor on everyone for Evil Geniuses.
I mean, they got 3 people here. Oh,
There's a couple Phantoms on the side of 100 Thieves
he
as
did
well.
deal some damage
Just
there.
lost all of it.
Oh, big win from Cryo.
This is falling apart for 100 Thieves, or for Evil Geniuses, excuse me, very quickly.
He did get the trade, though.
Trade Cryo down. Armageddon
Nice.
used,
Oh,
dancing around
give me
the
a...
smokes, claiming
Okay,
more.
okay. We'll take it. Thought Xander was going to get 3 there. Nice.
The inevitable. 100 Thieves
Thought
gets the
Xander
nine.
was going to
That
get
was
that
a run for
3K
them.
there
They're
with
gonna
how
be
they
broke
were
again, EGR.
swinging. He got the
100
dink.
Thieves this time on the back
Just didn't
foot,
have the
but
right gun for
holding
the
very
job.
well. Cryo winning that
That
head-to-head
second shot
against
was
Ye.
nasty, though.
Ye has gotten the short end of the stick in a lot of these engagements so far, and maybe it's
Boom,
the
and
fact
then
that
look at
he's
that.
on
Ooh.
Killjoy and not the chamber, and this is the problem with running light armor buys that a lot of teams are doing now, is you enable
He got that
these
dink.
guns that are
He
bought,
got that dink on the 3rd guy as well.
like the Guardians, like the Bulldogs, they just fry you. So now the money is very bad. Vandal in the hands of Ye.
Yeah, they're hero rifling him.
He is one of the players here at B. He's going to have to win this 50-50 against Cryo.
I know the score is close, but it does feel like 100 Thieves are in a position
That
to run
shot,
away
he
with
could
this
cause
thing.
some damages.
That's big
Or
from Ye.
Ye.
He needed that. But the kills instantly
Okay,
traded
we
back.
do get the trade right away, though.
Play for Superman again. He's getting punished.
W
in this
util
area.
usage. Doesn't even let him play the
Remember,
game.
The danger still lies in Ye's hands. There's still a shot at this. Icy also one off of his ult.
Do they clear Xander here? They do.
They knew
Damn.
exactly where it was. Now that's a weapon upgraded. Ye gets another one. This
Okay.
thing has gone off the rails. Ye finally dies. Now
Oh.
it's Icy, who never had a shot. Cryo left in 1v2, settles onto the first, still healthy. Still in a position to fight.
Teleport's ready.
All of the onus, all the responsibility on Derek. It's a tap, it's a swing. And Cryo's playing this beautifully. Sidestepping, understanding where the aggression's coming from. It's a 50-50. Derek has no choice.
Nice play from Cryo.
Gets 3. The Red Bull clutch for 100 Thieves.
That's why his name is Cryo right there, ladies and gentlemen,
utter
because
flow
he
state
is
right now from
icy.
Cryo.
He is icy.
Like we said, the last time he played Chamber in official was 2024 kickoff. He's looking great. He's looking amazing. 19 and 10.
Such a smart play from Cryo there.
Everyone sees that.
It's vintage Cryo, man.
Such a smart play from him.
This Chamber pick is paying out dividends.
Gotta
for
love
100
it.
Thieves. They're in full control of this half.
10-7 here. Only need
Now
3
it's
more
gonna be a
rounds
crunch,
to close this
top
one
and
out,
bottom
going into
side.
our map pick, which we
Trying to
looked
funnel
really good
everybody
on
into this
against Sentinels.
Showstopper of Cryo.
Icy has the op, and he's the one posted up. But again, if they lose this crunch, there's serious trouble here. Nature holding the line, getting one back. He's swinging to EU, and he'll take it again. Now the Rolling Thunder. Asuna knocked up, trying to get away,
Damn.
trying to jump to his life, and fails.
Right there.
Don't let him get
100
the
Thieves, they
ace.
need to even the score. They're doubling up, trying to get.
We need one of those big rounds, one of these 2v4s where everybody's just in the same corner.
Xander left in 1v4.
Damn.
No shot.
Unfortunately, we don't get it.
That was a desperately needed round for Evil Geniuses.
And it always feels like if there's anyone to bring EG out of a funk, it's Nature. Nature always steps up to the plate. He's looked so promising for this roster. He's really developed.
Yeah, that was a
into
big
great
round for
IGL.
Nature there. Big round.
It's not just the calling, it's his mechanics. Getting a 3-piece into this round, evening the score after Icy gets out-dueled in that off head-to-head.
Do they invest into it again? Yeah, this time it's in the hands of Ye, though. Dish control, no one there to flirt with it. A lot of attention B.
So far, 100 Thieves. Boostio, he's been calling around Ye very well.
There's a little bit of help. Superman's in trouble, but Derek's perched over his shoulder.
It's Just a stalwart defense so far. None of the players from the A side of EG moving whatsoever. Yay, still posted up on this angle with that breach stun.
Like it's a
being held
little
for
bit of
him.
a fake.
But this feels like the first round that hasn't been decided in the first 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Not really a fake, I guess. They're not. They
definitely a
didn't
change
like
of pace
super
right now from the
commit
side of Hunter Thieves.
to one of the sites.
Yeah, he is smoked off. He's going to jump through this smoke and try to get value.
With an op?
I mean, Nature's on an island, man.
He's going to have to hold on, and so far he's done that. You were just singing his praises, answering the call for his team as he gets a second.
Okay.
Another
I'm not
3
really
piece.
sure what
Right on
happened.
cue.
Not really
It's not
sure
like they
how all
didn't know
that
he was
happened.
there.
Again, going back and
Austin is
forth
just
from
trying to
different
clear out everything, not
POVs.
expecting the wide swing from Nature on the left side of sight. Cryo is left all alone, and
30
he's
seconds
been
left.
great, but he's going to have to turn into a demon if he wants to win this one. He
okay.
does get the first, Doug.
3 more names to claim,
This is so hard. He has so many angles to check.
and not a single pixel given. Ton of discipline out from Evil Geniuses here.
10 seconds
Plenty of other teams would overheat into this and swing one by one and die. Cryo manages to get the spike down.
Oh yeah, that's GG. I mean, he doesn't even stand a
He had nowhere to
chance.
It's a party in the back A.
He doesn't even stand a chance with the util.
Literally, the whole kitchen sink just thrown at the lad. I mean, that's what you have to do to shut him down, though. Like, I appreciate the respect from the side of EG. Don't even give him the gunfight. I'm not in this meta, man. Not in this series. Crowd's been too good.
That first kill into Austin is nuts.
Yeah.
Spike down
I mean,
A.
Damn.
with all the utility being thrown at Nature as well on that site.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of
Understanding
ass.
that he
If
can
I'm Cryo, I'm
from
just like,
multiple
dog,
angles to be able to isolate certain fights is
what do
very
you do?
impressive
You
in the
know,
heat
that's
of the
why
moment.
he's smiling there. There's
So
nothing
Hunter
you can
Thieves will
do
be
in a
using their
situation like
first
that. You're
timeout
kind of just
of the map.
chalked straight up.
Trying to cut some of that momentum that has clearly shifted in favor of EG. It looks like EG.
That's the difference
just
between
going on
a
Nature's
pro
backpack
player
right now. I mean,
mentality
back-to-back
versus
3Ks,
mine. Is if
very
that
impactful
would have happened to me in a
kills in
ranked
this
game,
moment.
I'm crashing out.
Yeah, whatever it takes.
I'm totally crashing out
And we
because
just
I'm
gotta
like,
talk
dude, these
about it. I mean,
guys don't
100
even want to.
Thieves
They don't even
are
want to
looking
fight me.
get back to
They're
that
just
form that we
util
saw
dumping
at Master
in a
Shanghai last
1v3.
year. That was their best placement. They didn't make chance.
I guess it's a
They
it's a
wanna get
respect
back to
thing. Like you got to
international.
look at it as a respect thing.
Right now, they have a chance to take this first map away from EG on their
If you're
fifth.
Cryo, I'm sure that's kind of how he looks at it.
Again, a reminder of the historic map record between these two. Hey, it's been all 100 Thieves. I mean, 8-1. They've had
Why
their
does it
number
do
and
that?
now
Why
in
does
an
my
opportunity, as you were
True
saying, to
Nomads
take
do
away
that?
their map pick on a map they haven't shown
I
this
don't want
year.
it to do that.
They haven't shown in a long time. But EG is showing a little fight here. I think an EG that has matured over the years, an EG that, you know, maybe a couple months ago, maybe in a previous EG would have folded. But their metal has been tested and they have responded.
Well, for anybody watching on YouTube, if you haven't already,
Dealing with
that
please like the stream.
It's not an easy thing
It
to
pushes
do.
it
Let's
out to
see
more people
Austin, it clears out Icy here.
to tune in and,
musical
you know,
chairs at
hang
the
out
top.
while we
Now it's in the
watch
hands of
this Thieves
Superman.
team hopefully
get
take down
challenged.
EG here. And it helps me out. It lets me know that you guys enjoy the content.
As you see a couple of members clear through, get into hell.
So I
EG, the
appreciate
only
everybody
one who's
who
not
is
crossed.
tuned in on YouTube.
Superman is a
And then
player
on
that's been getting
Twitch,
punished heavily
there's
on
not
this
really a way
B
to
side
like
as well.
it.
Maybe that
There's
is
not
the
really a way to like the
decision-making.
stream.
Put an op in his
But,
hands.
you know, I appreciate you guys for tuning
That's
in
not
as
what
well.
the fourth member. I think Nature's the only one who hasn't had an op.
And on YouTube, if you are not already,
as well,
you do
but-
have the option to become a member.
And
That
keep
is
a close
obviously
eye on
up
the
to you.
minimap. A little bit of eye candy thrown towards A, the
ideally
drone,
on
from them to attempt to manipulate some
on
rotation.
Twitch,
What
we'll
do
get to a
EG
point
do
where
here?
we can get subscriptions as
problem,
well.
though, that
But
Tejo,
we just haven't really
stealth
been able
drone
to
didn't see
stream
the
on
turret
Twitch
that
as
set up
much,
watching
having
Dish.
mostly watched
Superman,
Call of
have no
Duty.
way out
It's
of
only
here.
on YouTube. We can only stream on YouTube with Call of
You're
Duty.
digging your heels in. You
But
gotta
now
land
with
this shot.
Valorant kicking back
He
up
does.
again and
Traded
Marvel
right back,
Rivals,
though, but damage has
I
been
think we're
dealt.
going to try and watch party
Hunter
those
Beat
as
cracking
much
the
as
side
we
wide open.
can
There are
as
no
well.
defenses left. Everyone else from Evil Geniuses is towards A. Yay, now arriving at the scene
3v2
of
here
crime.
with Bomb down.
Held back by the smoke for now.
Yeah, he's going to wait for Nature here. It really comes down to this EU Nature head-to-head.
Oh, he didn't wait at
Oh.
all. And he gets a kill into Boostio. A dink out.
Oh,
Nature
no.
still healthy enough to fight.
Okay.
But Ye falls, of course, at the hands of Cryo.
And they can break this ultimate as well.
Okay, so the
This is a
ultimate
difficult
does
situation for
nothing,
Nature,
which is
but he's gonna
big.
have to deliver once more. Does the captain have any magic left? 9 bullets left. Time running short. Health not much better
I don't know if he has time.
And he's gonna get a challenge from
He's probably
EU,
just going for kills here.
who's the weaker one, but as the time dissipates,
Unwinnable.
yep, there's no way
Nice.
through. 100 Thieves get to 11.
Superman does connect onto that B main shot, but the
11 to
trade
9.
is so fast from
Two more
Cryo, he
rounds.
even
We just need
dodges
2 more.
The protocol Tejo missiles from Derek that were set up in that B main area. There's a little bit of a gap there. That
I'm still
Cryo
so
was
happy
able
the
to,
Thieves did a jersey
just put
that
his body
has
in, and
the
he ends
geoprint
up
on it.
clutching out the round for them with an amazing trade on the A.
I love the geoprint.
Look at that fast trade. Brimstone. I mean, look at this little pocket that he's able to play in. It allows him to get that 3rd kill onto Ye.
Who he pushing, Xander? Who he pushing, huh?
He's pushing nobody.
Me, I know he ain't pushing me.
I love how they have like the instant comms.
Last time out for Evil Geniuses.
That's something we don't really get with like Call of Duty.
Potter gonna
You
have
don't
to
get to
give
hear the comms like unless you do the
speech to
listen in
bring it back
specifically.
into things.
They don't have it on
Take a
like
look and
replay
take
and
stock
stuff
of
like
what
that.
The situation is for EG here. Yeah, they're down 2 rounds, but
Which, if I had to
Big
guess,
Bolts
I would
will
assume
decide
that
this.
you know
Superman has
Riot
his ult
production
online.
is much
And
better
then you've got a
than
couple members close
the
by,
Call
and
of
I
Duty
think-
production.
I really do think if they are going to continue this comeback, if they are going to get back into this fight, it has to be around that Trey.
I also think it has to be around actively re-clearing with not just one person. Superman had the right idea of disrupting the actual hit, but he needs follow-up. He needs another player with him in that moment.
Or just not take that aggro of a line.
Yeah, or that. But the problem is you just getting ran down on the actual site. Your site holds have not been that great.
Yeah.
Other than Nature going
Another
absolutely
timeout.
massive, you know, getting back-to-back 3Ks.
No more
towards that
timeouts
A
for
side of the
EG.
map. But B has been the
Thieves
weakness
do
so
still
far
have
for
one.
EG.
If we need it, hopefully we don't.
Again,
Ideally, we
Superman
don't need
with his
the
orbital strike
timeout.
online. Nature close to having his.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a 2-1-2 setup, floating around with that Brimstone ultimate, like you said.
This is really easy space that 100 Thieves are claiming. The drone.
Fan,
also
I'm
falls
in the
behind
same
it.
boat
There was this
here.
Fault line setup from Boosty
And
if
that's-
they got challenged.
This
It's
Val
every
team,
round just for free.
there's
been no fight. From the
they've
side of
been
EG.
going through a rough
And
bit
you know, it
here,
makes
so
sense
I
this
would
round
love
because that
I would love a
Brimstone
win
ultimate
out of
and the tail
them.
missiles you have, you can afford to delay that spike being planted at whatever site that 100 Thieves go to. But are they going to be ready for a push into spawn potentially? We saw 100 Thieves try to do that on
I
the
mean,
pistol round.
if
They
we
got
win
punished
this
for it.
map, I think that would be
This time, we
huge
might
because
catch
we
a couple
have
players out on that
Haven
iPad.
up next, which I feel
Derek's
like the Thieves
drone
looked
did
really good
fully
against
clear
Sentinels.
spawn, so he's gotta be careful
And
up there. It
the
doesn't
way
feel
it
safe enough
seems
to deny
is
that space.
EG is not on the same level as Sentinels.
They're fully playing
So
off-site.
Yep.
Ye's the only one close by.
yeah, I'll be honest.
This
I
is very
stopped
reminiscent of
watching.
what we saw in the bonus.
I
Remember, they
stopped
wanted to
watching
scale up
during
and take these fights
the
to
last
EG.
map against Sen. I was just at the Call of Duty event. The Thieves lost. And I can't even say heartbreaking fashion because it wasn't heartbreaking. They just didn't look very good. So very
They never had a
disappointing.
shot. That's already one name down.
Is Sen actually like
Trigger on
not that
Still
good?
falls Cryo on the swing as Derek gets another. Now orbital strike in play. Cryo trying to get 2, only finds 1. EU's left alone. That's another
All right,
round for
well.
EG.
It's a big round for EG there.
It was close. I know 3 members are still alive from the side of EG.
Yeah, is Sen
But
really not
weathering
like
that
that good of a
aggression-
team? I mean, like I said,
Boostio,
I
he
don't
got
pay as much
disconnected.
attention to Valorant. The only
Right there.
the only time I really pay attention to Valorant is
Opting to
when it
push
comes to
forward
like the
into Tail
Thieves.
Missile, just a little bit off.
Target down.
Not synergistic with his teammate of Xander.
They got 2-0'd yesterday because they couldn't stop choking.
A
Damn.
good retake.
Well,
a lot of teams in this moment would crumble.
That's
they would fall,
unfortunate.
but EG digging
I
deep
mean,
on this one, using
them
their teamwork
losing
to
for
their
the Thieves
advantage,
is
using
not
the ult to their
unfortunate, but
advantage.
This
them
round
beating
is
the
really
Thieves
big.
is
Look at Nature,
unfortunate.
he's 1 for off of his,
Knowing
1
that they
pip
got
off of his ult.
2-0'd.
Nice he is as well, and this is an eco for them. There's a real position here where EG are going to be able to tie it up and carry 3 ults into the next gun round.
You want to play?
Oh yeah, that's
And
not
that could be the
ideal.
difference maker.
We're gonna need some big picks in
Problem
this
is we've
round
seen
for
EG get
sure.
thrifty Before, with this showstopper, it could open up an opportunity. EG are getting active here. Superman,
Oh, huge.
what are you doing?
Overheating
Huge.
a little bit as Cryo gets another. This map
Okay,
on the
Icy
balance,
with
Icy
2.
getting 2. Trying to connect
Huge.
onto the third, but it's EU who claims the name.
3v1.
And just when it seemed like Evil Geniuses were in a spot to fight back,
That's a huge
it
round.
all gets invested, and it all goes the way of the attack.
Now we just got to close it out.
Now it's 100 Thieves who have the ult advantage. Now it's 100 Thieves who have the money advantage.
Huge.
And now it's 100 Thieves who are on map point.
EU with 4.
Settle the shots.
I gotta
and
say, Dan might be my favorite Thieves player.
I like
He might be
wanting to get
my favorite.
aggressive from the side of EG,
Respectfully
but
to the
doing it
other
on a round where you have
4 guys.
complete advantage, like
I don't
you
know what it
stated,
is about
where
Dan.
your
I
ults are
really
starting
like
to
him.
snowball.
He seems like a
Just
genuine
not
dude.
The right play at the right time.
I did
You
meet
would've
it. I
much
met
rather have
the
had those
Valorant
ults for
team
this gun
last
round.
year. And before, Bang was probably my favorite player, and then of course they had to get rid of Bang.
Like it was decided
But
round 22.
now I think I really like EU
Such an
and
important round to win.
his
And to
his
invest
play.
as much as they did, but they
I
still
feel like
have
he's very
guns.
clutch too, which is kind of cool.
There's still a chance at this thing. Icy playing really far up. Another ult
Part of it
invested
could
with
be
no
he plays a lot of
follow-up. And for
initiator,
Cryo,
and
EU
that's
can
kind of
play
what
this
I
really
play
far back.
when I play Valorant.
What a 180. There's a real world in which
Dan doesn't
nature
stream.
falls right there.
Yeah, I mean,
Again, bailing out EG.
it's
even
not
the
really
numbers
about
now, but
like
silent walk-up.
the content side of it. I think it's just
Forcing
like
the defense of EVG
his
just to spread
aura,
out a little
like,
bit more.
and I
All of
don't
a
mean
sudden,
that
there's
in
a
the sense of
4v2
like
on
he
B.
has like a lot of
Derek's gonna
aura
have to
or
come up
whatever. I
huge
just
here.
mean
There
it
is
in the
supporting
sense of
utility
like
from nature here.
the type of guy he
has the stun pulled
seems
out.
to be. Like
There's a lot he's
I
gonna
like
have to do
I
with
like him. He seems
stunts
like a cool
traded,
dude.
Time bought, but space gained. Nature now falls. Derek flushed out, tries to connect onto the shots and falls at the hands of Xander.
Bustio is kind of like an interesting
EG
character
pushed.
to me. Like he's definitely a cool
100
dude.
Thieves don't break.
Um,
Now 4v2
but
settle this thing.
he's I don't know. He's just something
Dance
else,
around
man.
ult, Dance around Bustio. Super left in 1v4 with the Guardian in hand, and that might just do it.
Nice.
Xander gets 300 Thieves, take Fracture 13-10 again.
That is
their
the
pick.
map 1 win
fully in
for the
control.
Thieves.
And a lot was said about, okay,
That's a
we need
huge
to make
start
sure we work on
here.
our fundamentals.
Huge
I believe
start
that was
here.
Awesome that said that. That last
I
round
did used to
was
like
a great
Derek as well.
depiction of that being put in place. Up
I liked
numbers,
watching Derek
using your
play.
utility to flush out Derek, using your utility to take out nature. Even on their retakes.
I mean,
on the
everybody
defensive
has their
side,
ups and downs, you know. Like I'm sure
they
I'm
looked
sure
like
he
a
has his
cohesive
reasons,
unit, a
or
much
even
better
if he
squad than
doesn't.
we
I mean,
saw
that's kind of
against
just what happens.
Sentinels.
Sometimes
Yeah, I
guys
think it was
have like
Osner who said
cold
right before the
points,
map
and
started that they
you
need
know
to do
maybe
stuff
right now
together
he's just going
and
through
do
more
what
of a cold
feels
spell.
right. And that seems real empty.
That could
Seems
just
like
be
a
all it
rough
is.
attitude, to be honest, but it really does feel like they were playing much more cohesively, as you mentioned. And for
I could
EG,
see that
that's a
Cryo
tough
being
pill to
the
swallow, man.
best to learn from his
To
POV.
be
I
with
mean,
the knocking distance,
Cryo's
to
a
have all
beast.
the
I
tools
think
there and
honestly,
to let
like
that
the
one
only
slip
reason
just
I would
hurts.
disagree is because I feel like he
The
has so
unfortunate
much
thing, though, for them is
talent
there's no time to dwell
that
on
like
it.
there's
You
some
got
stuff that
Haven
he does that's so
just on the
crazy.
other
You're
side
just
of
like,
this break, a map that both
dude,
teams have found success
like,
on. We'll see if
I
comps change or
can't
anything
I
like
can't
that on the
replicate
other side of
that.
this. We will be
Like,
right back.
this guy's just insane. He's like that, you know? But he is a smart player. I mean, I feel like that is one thing that I feel like all the Thieves players are pretty smart. Let's win champs. I hope so. I hope so. I mean, we still have to make it to champs though, right? Like there's some things that the Thieves have to do first, like to qualify. Because I still don't fully understand all of the the Valorant splits and what qualifies you for champs and all those types of things. I mean, last year we won a stage and still didn't make champs, so it's very confusing to me. Because I feel like last year they should have made champs. I mean, almost purely based off of the fact that they won an entire stage. I mean, winning an entire stage, I feel like should be deemed like a pretty big deal, no? Yeah, I feel like last year was just so weird. Like, you win a stage, but because you lost like certain matches that didn't mean as much, you don't make champs. Like, I don't know. I mean, it's weird. That's what I'm saying. Like, how does it make sense at that point? How does that make sense? To have Sen lose to Thieves, but then Sen still makes champs, and they didn't even win a split. The Thieves won a split.
Looking at the Thrifties in that map, a really big reason why 100 Thieves was able to take so many rounds.
They won Masters Madrid.
Shift on how to approach those Thrifty rounds, or how is the team working the low buys?
I think just
I don't know.
Team play's improved a lot. We focused a lot on it this week, to be honest. I think like this was probably our best week of scrims that we've had. We had like a very clear direction, made very like solid progress. So I'd say a lot of it is in that. I mean, on Thrifties, like people get a bit more gambly, and if you make the right read, then you know anything can happen. So definitely a lot of that and a lot of our team play.
Cash in the scrim box and get the W's. Best of luck on the next map.
Welcome back, everyone. Yeah, the story of Fracture was certainly Thrifties. Do we hit a record? Is there a record as the new kid on the block? Like, is there a Thrifty record?
But that must have been up there because especially in the first half, like there was a string of like 3, 4, 5 rounds in a row where every round, 100 Thieves running a south side aggro piece, and the team that didn't have guns was always winning.
Dude, you had no idea who was going to win based on the buys. And this used to happen all the time in the old Chamber net, right? Chamber is just such a deadly agent. Then we have Neon sliding around. There's Neon ult to worry about. Oh, but 100 Thieves, they really activated Cryo on that second half, averaging like 250 damage around in the second half. When Boostio and Asuna combined for a total, I think, like 3 and 16 in that second half. Boostio had 22 damage around. This man literally won them the map. He stole it from EG.
I love that, though. I mean, that was the story heading into this, right? We talked about Cryos, the different agents he played last week, and how streaky it was. He's off to a really great start. And now we have Haven coming up as well.
And we have like
so
no
we might
Valorant
get to see him pop
gifts
up
on
That's where he was
X.
looking even better the other day on the ISO. But all things considered, I think EG are going to be pretty upset with especially the first half, like the amount of rounds.
Well, that kind of sucks. That's what I was going to use.
All these late round moments where it's a 1v1, 2v1, something like this, and Cryo is just stealing the rounds away.
But that's what I'm worried about, right? They won both pistols. They got the first bonus. You're sitting there looking at Potter like, what more can we give this team right now? Like, they need to actually convert some of these gun rounds. They need to not get thriftied over and over and over. And now they're going to go into Haven, which, you know, is 100 Thieves' home field.
Let's actually hear it from Potter herself, how they feel ahead of map 2.
I am here with Potter before map 2. You're seeing a few Thrifties go towards 100 Thieves on that first map. What's the focus here as we get into map 2?
Just recalibrating ourselves, gaining our composure. Nature was calling really well. All of us were playing extremely well on map 1. It's just unfortunate. But map 2, Haven, I know it's 100 Thieves pick, but we're feeling very confident on this map. Very familiar with what 100 Thieves are going to bring to the table, so game on.
Can't wait to see it. Thank you, Potter.
Thank you.
Game on indeed. Yeah, we're also familiar with what both of those teams have shown us, at least last week on Haven. Who would have the upper hand in that duel?
Oh, this is like Birdman hand clasp type scenario. The way Potter said that, I feel like she's going to be so ready. Last week, that C aggression from 100 Thieves worked out so well on defense. They were pushing through A. Think back to the Asuna flick down, right? They were pushing the extremities on defense all half. Potter will certainly have solutions for that.
And the problem, though, is going to be Cryo, right? And before we get ahead of ourselves and dive into Haven, like, he was so good in this second half.
All right, chat. What are we thinking for this map? Let's break it down in halves. How are we thinking the Thieves close out the first half here? Do we win a pistol round? Do we win our pistol rounds in this first half?
Insane. But the space he was taking by A on that attack half, it's almost like you're
12-0 first half.
Starting with the chamber.
Hey, I love it. I love the energy.
No one wants to fight Cryo.
I love the energy out of you.
So in order to push him off that line, you're gonna need to like breach stun. You're gonna need to use your Teo missiles.
12-0 first half would be actually insane. That would be crazy.
He was putting in work.
The game's like, you're doing so well, let's keep running it. Let's just keep going. We're not gonna stop at. We're not gonna stop at. Or never mind. I'm dumb, dude. Never mind. Let's go back and forget I ever said that. Let's rewind that and forget I ever said that because I realized what I said and I'm an idiot. But 12-0, I like that. I like what you're thinking.
Actually, we'll probably see plays off of what we saw last week, right? We saw some set plays out of the Waylay. Usually when you see Potter bring in these new comps, she gives a first initial look, and then she'll pivot off of that to bait the other team into trying to counter.
So if it's our pick,
that's what I'm looking at if I'm looking at EG right now.
Yeah, does that tell us if they're offense or defense first half, or does that kind of come after they do this segment?
Both through long, through garage, and then their A play was a lot slower. So I think that's something that 100 Thieves are going to be reading and trying to refight them into the lobby space after EG have taken it.
Yeah, the teams are getting ready right now, and so are we. Map 2 is coming up right after the short break, so don't go anywhere.
Another break? Another break? I feel like Valorant has a ton of breaks in between matches. Oh, okay. So we still have to wait to see who chose what then. Gotcha. Yeah, I wasn't sure if like if you pick the map, if it's like you're guaranteed one side or the other. Because I know like if you pick the map, you kind of have like the benefit in that regard. So
that blue one.
It's a map that both of these teams have found success on. The Devs was talking about the different comps that they run. You imagine things won't change, but Sean made a really good question there at the end about how Potter does have a proclivity towards running a comp and then changing it out, right, to kind of keep the opposition.
Oh, they did? Yeah, I don't think I even noticed that.
Is the defensive sides of EG have been
I don't even think I noticed what it was.
They're 2 and 7. I just feel like
I mean, Thieves started on.
That can't be solved.
I guess that probably doesn't really matter.
I feel like this is a map that is.
Looks like we're defense. Looks like we're defense to start off.
They look great on, of course. They do a really good job of.
Damn, he got his dogs out.
They're gonna fall for 100 Thieves, you know.
He got them dogs out on main stage
in their last match against Sen, which was just crazy down C long on their defensive side. But I'm still very.
I mean, I kind of respect it though. Damn, the camera's sniffing. The camera's getting up in there. He's getting a whiff of the shoes. You're not slick, buddy. You're not slick. We know you're catching a whiff of them dogs.
Conditions at the end of the day there. I mean, Nature's gonna have to keep stepping up, or maybe Superman's gonna have to be that guy.
We are going to have the comp question answered, and it seems like nothing will change.
Wait, I literally haven't seen any. I haven't seen any Waylay like play yet.
And
can't imagine 100 Thieves will make the change either.
Yeah, and I do have to say, I think Icy's done a great job of incorporating Waylay into his character pool. I mean,
I've not seen Waylay played at all.
Jet, where it's very reactive. Like if he sees somebody out of position, he goes for that double dash, punishes them. At least
this should be interesting.
If he can actually find success doing that same set play style against Cryo on this ISO, maybe they can get something cooking here.
Dude, am I crazy? I feel like a lot of people in Valorant like do not like 100 Thieves. They're not 100 Thieves fans.
I'm concerned for your life savings.
Like I feel like every time the Thieves play on main stage,
again, historical reason
people are always rooting for the other team, which is fine. I'm not out here saying that's a bad thing.
to put
But
some icing on the cake there.
I'm just kind of
Evil
surprised.
Geniuses have not played
I would think
map
there would be
3
more Thieves
this
fans
entire year.
out there than there
Every
seems to
series
be.
has been a 2-0 either way.
I feel like all the
They're gonna have
signs
to
I
find a
ever
way
see are always for the other
to force
team.
that if they want a chance at this.
Yeah, they're gonna have to dig deep. It's gonna be
Yeah, I mean, I know Sen
Slow
kind of like
seed pressure, the walk
dominates
towards garage
when it
here,
comes to
icy.
that. But even like with EG, like a lot of those signs were for EG and stuff.
Got the TP back, but it's not going to have a chance to use it this round. EU spamming through the smoke.
So
getting the kill.
you think it's just the fact that
Now you have to
Sen
pivot towards
fans just
that
don't
A
like
site where
the
there's a
Thieves, so
trap
they
set
root
up
for
with
whoever
Leon,
is not
with
the
only
Thieves?
Paranoia.
I mean, I get it. I understand it. I really do.
There's the paranoia. There's the stun. So you can't go garage.
Good first blood.
Can't go away.
2 first bloods, actually.
The map is feeling real small here.
He kind of left to have to contact with this pack mentality. Breach stun makes it obvious. Asuna just trying to confirm some of this info.
Damn, that was a big yawn.
And he's not afraid at all. He's
Kind of just
holding
got
his
some
space
rough
by
timing
himself.
there.
Xander did a double back here. He's holding his short, so it just looks like right now 100 Thieves have been playing these.
Yeah, that's
off-laning
also
to
fair,
their
Brandon.
advantage completely
That we're
throughout
also
first
not
round.
the
Potter's
best.
talking about how good of a
We're not the
game
best at
Nature
Valorant,
called
but
on Fracture.
And he did, honestly.
It's only the pistol, but
again, I think the potential's
Nature's
there.
gonna have to call his way through this.
I've said it before. I think it's really hard for a team to kind of get acclimated when you're constantly like not playing for 2 months, and then every time you do finally get to play, it's against a team that has been playing for 2 months.
The shots come through,
Nice.
the spike hits the ground.
No time.
And there is no time. You're going to have to frag your way through this.
Nice.
And that's just not going to be the case.
That's a
The
pistol round
for
for the boys. That's a
Getting the
pistol
first
round.
bloods again. 100 Thieves got so
Those
many of
those
on
come
that last
rare
map
for
of
the
Fracture.
Thieves. They do.
Continuing the pace here.
3 from
I mean,
EU
the
on
first
that
kill
round,
was
2 from
just off of
Asuna. We
sound
love it.
Sound cues, but this kill from Ye looks like 100 Thieves definitely did their prep against
When we
OG.
won split
Understand
1, we
that
did
Ye
have a
likes
lot
to
of fans on
contact the opposite
stage.
side of where-
Bandwagoners. I'm just kidding. Damn. Let them know.
Wise words of
Let them
wisdom
know,
from
Dan.
you.
Yeah, getting his team pumped for sure. I have a feeling they're gonna.
Yeah,
run
we
it
don't
down
mind. We
here
actually
towards
don't
the A side
mind
of the map
bandwagon
now
fans.
After those cobs,
We don't mind bandwagon fans.
instead just opting to go for those long-range gun duels.
I personally would invite
Also does have
bandwagon
that Phantom
fans.
Xander. He's
Problem
gonna
is, like you said, we're not quite at
holding
the
this
point
garage area
where
right now
we
for
kind of
EG.
should
On their
expect
outside
to
goes,
get
they do like
bandwagon
the grab
fans. We're
orb,
just
that
not
C-long
playing
orb
great
was
yet.
gained. There's not much you could really do on here. I mean, hopefully you can maybe overwhelm.
But hopefully we can get
Xander and Garage,
the
push
ball
it back.
rolling and
You're hopeful to get a spike planted
start
at that
to
moment.
Hey,
get
that's
things
so
going our
dangerous.
way.
Util too, man.
Yeah.
That's a tough ask.
I think they will be able to get the spike down, and you just never know. This is the best possible scenario for EG.
Look at
Four
that.
members.
The decay and the flash.
Mhm.
Sanders still playing
Uh-oh.
around the site. Position given away. The stun comes through, trying to
Uh-oh.
spam into the smoke. Bucio and Cryo have his back. What?
No.
Through the flash, still gets a kill.
Can he not shoot?
Now 4 bullets left, inspecting. Oh, clip runs dry. Tries to stay alive, and he can't. Oh, EU
Wait,
leads
what
up.
happened?
That
Why
was-
did he
that
just-
was ugly, is what it was. But 100 Thieves will get the round anyway.
What the hell happened?
Good job of working the map for EG, and they got the orb onto Nature as well, down C long in the beginning. So
He just sat
all
there and
things
looked at him.
considered, I mean, that's a really good ego round. Honestly could have went their way. You never know if he has a sheriff on the middle of.
Oh, was it because he was flash?
Definitely landed the first headshot. A lot of guns now out of the
I don't think
hands
I
of
realized
100
that the screen said he was flash. I was like,
Their
why is he
economy's
not
looking
shooting?
good. EG now
He's
has
got the
a chance
crosshair like right on him.
to bring things back a little bit, win this round, not let it slip away. But here is the C-long aggression. Oh, what is this?
Cheeky little smoke, but Cryo, you're
We were talking about how Powder likes to ante. This is the ante, but they line up for Icy Doug.
Bruh.
it was 100 Thieves who was playing in the smoke. Icy able to deal a little bit of damage with that outlaw.
Right there.
That was a cool little set play. I know it didn't work, but you can definitely tell
We
that the
got
prep
collatted, bro.
has been thought
Oh, that's so
through.
tough.
It's been thorough for 100 Thieves.
That's so
And maybe that was
tough.
part of the advantage they had on that last map of Fracture, you know, not playing it whatsoever in kickoff. Seeing a little bit of tendencies from the EG squad. But this should
I mean,
be
this is a round you don't really expect to
round
win.
for Evil Geniuses to get on the board here.
Derek
Not
is
getting
weak,
bonus this
though.
time around.
Cryo not able to connect.
You just don't really have the right weapons for this.
For Ye, who will now have his ult online.
The spike.
And no bonus this time around.
They kind of have an idea of where Boostio is going to come from.
Is going to definitely play this type of playstyle where they're waiting for the aggression. They, you know, Potter does prep work herself, understanding that 100 Thieves have been pushing the issue on.
That's all right. I mean, that's really unfortunate that we got collided.
If we see an A side default from the likes of EG, you're going to see Ye
that definitely makes things very difficult.
If he can get that kill,
very unfortunate way to lose the round.
Paint the picture for Nature to make a good call. There's the lineup. Unlucky.
That's insane.
Cool play though, dodging that dart because of that Omen smoke. Cheeky play. Here's that A side default. This time Ye isn't going to be alone towards Garage. He's going to be with the pack. If they can get a first blood here.
See, the thing for me though, like,
only one through.
Okay, good first blood.
Between all
like we were talking about,
main,
Thieves aren't great. I don't feel like EG's like great either though, no?
I seen a really good spot, able to connect onto the first. The transfer, not favorable.
Almost there, just doesn't hit the mark, and now EG have to freeze.
And the truth is, they haven't really gained any space.
No, you have to contact again.
I don't know. I feel like Thieves just don't get the same respect.
To hold the line. There's nothing
nice.
To cross here, and so they're just going to walk into their crosshairs. Big
okay.
Eric, though.
I've seen this before.
Doesn't have spike in hand.
I've seen this one before.
Double up. This is the proper play from the defense. Still a decent amount of time to work with, though, if I'm Derek. But you gotta grab that spike sooner than later, otherwise you're forced to go.
He has a good amount of health as well.
Where they are. I mean, he's guessing they could be down a long, they could be down short. That's why you see him so carefully considering every possibility.
Yeah, and how Thieves are going to be okay with letting him plant the spike here.
Bro, being in like a 1v1 or a 1v2 where you have no clue where the other team is,
evil geniuses,
like stresses me out when I play.
He will have the dart.
Or when I used to play, I should say.
He taps the spike.
And that might be the fatal move. 10 seconds left.
Uh-oh.
And they know where he is now. He's flashed up off the swing, realizing he's going to have to deal with both sides. Gets this one. He's going to get into a 1v1.
Stay alive. Stay alive.
Time runs out.
Okay.
And he can't.
Nice
that
play
one
from
had me
Xander,
stressing a little
understanding that he
bit.
had the win no matter what. He just needs to survive.
Yeah, it had me stressing a little bit. Good play from Xander, though, to just stay alive.
That wide swing on a Boostio just absolutely deleting him. But this contact approach that EG like to do in a lobby, it's going to get punished a lot by this Neon ISO combo. You saw how confident Cryo was taking that peek into short against Superman. And EG not really being able to play their game. It's
yeah,
be the
it looks like they're
round
forcing.
back to back here.
Looks like they're forcing here.
Different flavor, though. There was a little bit more Soviet utility from 100 Thieves. Not the case this time. It wasn't shots. It's the ult. No crunch coming elsewhere, though.
Oh, but a connection on a Nature. So
did get one.
The breach is in grass right now.
Not a pick,
so
but
it's a lean towards
intel.
That C side of the map. You kind of are forced now, if you're EG, to have to re-clear that A space. Otherwise, there's 3 members here around this B mid area to deal with wherever you're going, whether that's garage, B.
Doing a thing.
Drone
Couple
for
drones. A drone battle.
That cam was cleared, so you get a little bit of space and a little bit of info denial here. If you're
okay, so that's one of. See, I didn't know that was one of.
And Asuna is there.
What is it? Right. Layway.
We saw Asuna punish Ye last time around, but it's actually going to be a B execute here for the side.
That character's really skill set or move set.
Have to be a retake from 100 Thieves.
I have seen that one, the double dash.
A little high ground, showing off some of that mobility as Cryo steps Nature into his den and gets the kill.
Nice.
How much more can they do? EU
wait,
completely
what?
destroys Icy as he tries to take an aggressive peek back sight. Now a 2v2 is EU still dancing around.
Wait, what was that move? What was that? I've never seen that before.
The hero for 100 Thieves in the previous map in position to deliver again.
Oh my gosh.
Guessing for where the other player might be. And it's Derek who hits the timing.
Good try from Cryo there.
Jeez, that B execute though, all that utility that's thrown, it's so
good try from Cryo.
From Evil Geniuses. And yeah, the spike gets caught up. in that ISO ultimate, but Ye winning the head-to-head against Asuna this time around. And yeah, that kill on EU backside pretty much opened up everything.
That one was a
Crowd landed such a sick shot on the Ye there as well. That
winnable round there. It's tough.
Pulled out from Derek, 7-3 so far.
Yeah, now we're really
PvP
screwed financially speaking.
The economy of 100 Thieves. So now
We definitely needed that round win.
Get a little bit of a lead here. Outlaw in the hands of Icy. He's very confident with this weapon. In the last series, I mean, he was really just holding W, looking for any type of fight he could get, especially on the anti-eco. This time opting to hold. Such different play styles that you have to deal with.
Very slow here.
Across the board right now.
I mean, the whiplash that I'm getting from Fracture.
EG's player's hairline is crazy.
Yeah. We were talking about how it felt like the rounds were decided in the first 10, 15, maybe 20 seconds.
That's a wild chat. I can't lie.
This has just been an entirely
calling out
different
hairlines. That's diabolical.
This is how EG like to approach their attacking sides on the anti-eco. Usually an A walk with Ye.
Yeah, Ye has a
fight.
Has a rough hairline there.
Window.
And then I think it was Nature.
Yeah. So close. Crowd's gonna keep taking that.
I can't talk too much though. I have a Widow's Peak, so I don't have the best of hairlines.
Oh, he takes a step forward. Oh, there it is.
Maybe that's more. Oh, dude.
Easy pickings.
Oh man.
30 seconds.
And all the meanwhile is just a walk into A lobby, so not getting caught off guard by anything crazy. 100 Thieves
not great.
Throwing at them.
Last player standing.
Not much you can do if you're Boostio in this moment. Yeah, he's looking to feast right now.
You mean he can't 1v5 with a classic?
Absolutely not.
Well, I mean, we didn't have any
they tie us up at 3 of 4K
any money there,
and,
so.
I mean, this is exactly what they needed to do. They were
not much to buy. That would have been a pretty crazy thrifty round
again,
there.
Letting Fracture slip. And so far, so good for EG.
Yeah, they look calm. They look collected. It's not getting out of hands for them. It will be a timeout here from 100 Thieves, though. Maybe looking to change the pace a little bit here, understanding that this A walk is something that they haven't
fairly
used
early
before.
timeout here, I feel like.
Yeah, you wonder what the conversation is. I think for 100 Thieves, they had shown a lot of that early A main aggression with the Sova, Neon, and ISO utility in that previous round. It was an eco, yeah, but that just wasn't the case there. So you wonder, are they going to double down on that? Do they switch things up and go for a little bit more C-long aggression? I think there are a lot of things that 100 Thieves can do here in response.
Yeah, but EG, Derek specifically, he does have the Hunter's Fury online, and he likes to do this cheeky little drone where he'll, you know, most.
Do you guys know? Do the coaches are the coaches basically in like a team speak call? Like with the players, but they're just muted until they call a timeout, and then they're like, do they get to hear the comms while the match is happening?
And maybe rip the Sova ultimate.
Do you guys know how that works?
This time around, maybe trying to throw a little bit of a fake.
Or is it just kind of like they don't get to know?
I mean, more than usual.
And the only time they get to like hear the players or get to talk is when they call a timeout.
Sova utility is going to be using at C-long.
Or like at halftime.
There's not going to be time to wait. A main is already lost. Meanwhile, Derek is droning up C, but
here's that walk.
Space has already been denied. The flash not going to connect. Still able to get one.
Okay, he
IC
gets
on the
one.
train. EU gets away.
He gets one at least.
That's the breach ult out as well. All that breach utility that can be used to help the Waylay get the entries on the site is now gone. All you have is a paranoia and a dart.
And now you take a look at the situation for EG. All of that, including losing the Rolling Thunder, like you said, just to get some A mains.
You think they're hearing team comms live? Because I figured, I mean, why not, you know?
They don't have the breach util like we talked about.
Why would they not be able to hear the team comms live?
He's going to have to bully his way through all this utility, but he's going to get peeked into.
I can't believe he survives that. I thought he was dead to rights.
There.
Oh, look at this from Xander. Taking things into his own hands, making the play.
TP's past the trip. Do they know he's there?
Oh, these timings.
A lot of things to consider. IC dealt
okay,
with.
good pick.
That flash not going to connect. Derek has to go big again.
Teleport stopped.
How much more can Xander do? Behind enemy lines as Evil Geniuses are
Okay,
trying
bomb
to
is
scale up.
down
Look at how
though.
far up Ye is. These two, this fight, B window probably decides this. Meanwhile, you've got a lot of presence coming into A lane.
Nice.
Both kills going the way
Those
of
are big
100
kills. Nice. That's a good flank from
What a
Xander
play
there.
from Xander, Doug. I mean, just TPing over
It's a
the
great
trip,
flank from him.
Not afraid of Ye being behind whatsoever. I think this is a lot to do with prep as well for 100 Thieves. Once you see Ye taking that fight towards Garage, he never really goes back towards that C side. So it's just completely left open, and that's punished. Are EG aware that that is going to be a big gap now in their attacking side?
One enemy remaining.
I even like that Xander uses his Omen ultimate to spot out where the rest of the players are. I mean, he used it over there in C-Link. Spots out Ye.
Yeah, that was a good play
This
from
A main
Xander, for
fight,
sure.
I mean, you've got EU who's trying to scurry over and get there in time. I think he might be a little bit late, and this might be the first time EG win out this A main fight.
Uh-oh.
Austin is already so far up, though. The shock arrives in time. The delay is there.
Oh.
He's got to connect the shots, and Icy cannot deliver.
Just 1-for-1 again. This time, it's the duelist that get taken out.
Smoke goes down. Kills go through.
Okay, another
Cryo's
trade.
there.
Getting a lot of trades here.
Spam from Derek there to take out that shield of cryo cells.
What do you do with this ult here?
They're just going to full send it with that breach ultimate. It's going to be a post-plant v retake. Classic Haven gameplay here.
Okay.
Cryo has his ult. Does he pop it here?
He has no shield, though. I mean, he has to. All his team entries in.
Oh, it
Oh,
didn't
he didn't
connect.
hit.
A swing and a miss. Hey, not though. Kills traded back and
A
forth
lot of
this entire round,
trades.
settling into a
A lot of
2v2.
trades.
With suspense building and the spike ticking away, Ye's gonna get challenged in hell. And that's home ground for him. Connects onto both.
That's tough.
3 for Ye, and we're tied again.
Once heard an
He's
interview
just
from a
so strong
coach.
in these
He
off
said
angles. I mean, he's
one of
so
his
confident in
strats to
hitting
call
that headshot
timeout
when
is
he's
when
getting
he
swung
heard
into.
his team calling something
Just the
bad or
little side steps
miscomms.
that he does. I mean, he's
Oh, okay.
starting to have a
Yeah, that
banger
would
of a
make
match.
sense
He's sitting
then
at 12 and
that
5.
they can hear the players, because otherwise
Probably has
there
a
would be
ridiculous headshot rate.
no way you would
You
know that.
It's crazy that we just hit a replay.
So that makes
on
sense.
just a whipping
The
the ult.
ISO ult missing. Boostio went way too early there, by the way. I mean, just jumping out of heaven. I don't know. He thought he was Superman or something.
I do feel like that's something I noticed with the Thieves is like
Xander with the paranoia here.
their timings for certain stuff is just not quite there.
The adjustment out from Superman.
Whoa, Asuna is
Asuna
just
swinging his way in with the
disrespecting
Spectre.
them.
Enemy remaining.
It's a whirling dervish, A-main. And it's 100 Thieves who walk out on top.
The Stinger's so OP, man. How does he win that fight?
That was
against a Vandal?
disrespectful.
Yeah, he has
That
to deal
was
with 3
disrespectful.
members and Cryo with a shield. It's cooked.
Oh, take a look at that A-main fight again.
Nice.
Because you're starting to see some of
There we
the
go.
chess match
That's another round
play out in
win.
A-main. This time Superman TPing into Cubby, knowing that Asuna likes to take that long space. He was there for the fight. And,
Crazy play
you
from
know,
Asuna
as you were
there.
mentioning, unfortunately, it goes the way of
Crazy
Asuna
play.
with the stinger, but
Stinger's too broken, man.
I mean, that's the right play. That's exactly what you want to do there. But
That's insane. They were both
Just
stunned
handed
out of
that
their
back. The
mind.
RNG battle wasn't in his favor this time around for
Enemy
Superman.
remaining.
And had he gotten that kill, maybe it's an entirely
Xander's
different
going
round.
crazy
Yeah,
on this
that's what it
map.
really
Yeah,
comes
he's
down
had
to.
some big moments.
So it will be a pause now from Evil Geniuses.
What did you see
One
what his
pause
stat
used for
line
each
is? I didn't
team
really
right
get a
now.
chance to like
And
look
EG, I
at it.
still think they're calling a great map so far, but there needs to be more pressure on the opposite side of the map now.
Yeah.
It's time to change things up. You understand that Asuna has been running it down on this A long, and it's been back and forth, which sometimes it can work in your favor on the
Damn.
attacking side if you go 1-for-1.
Big yawn for me.
But with the Omen paranoia
big
being
yawn.
there as well from Xander this time around, it makes it much harder to fight.
yeah, I wonder at what point you give up on the A-main
Oh
fight.
man.
Yeah, just re-clear it late in the round
He tabbed
or
out.
hold it like Ye did in a previous. You know Asuna's probably going to want to run through once there's pressure made in garage or
Trying to
front B or
look
even C.
on their screens.
And you imagine part of the conversation is
There we
similar
go.
to 100 Thieves.
Xander 7
Do
and
you
5.
continue
Cryo's
into
going
this?
crazy
Do you
too.
think
He's
on
10
the
and
tie-
8.
On the other side of the timeout, they'll switch it up.
So from what I've seen
10, 8,
from
and
100
4
Thieves
from
VODs,
him.
especially on this map against Sentinels, is they
Boostio's
double down,
having
they
a
triple
slow
down.
one.
They don't care. They're gonna
3
keep
and
doing the
7,
same
only
play
2
that works
assists as
until it
well.
doesn't.
So
That seems to
sure
be
we
the
would like to
approach
see a
here.
little more out of him.
This time a Cypher behind them, though. A complete retake on the C side of the map, and for EG, they're posturing towards a full C split. I think
Guardian and a Vandal for the attack.
And the Q is just going to be Ye relaying all this information that the Neon stun is here. He hears the audio.
Yeah, Cryo's a beast.
Asuna pushing up.
And so this is the
when he struggles, it really like sucks for the
Maybe they
Thieves.
re-clear it later. Maybe they just hold it. Maybe EA just dies to Asuna.
Big first blood.
One of the big rifles that EG bought up into this round. Icy sitting on the only other one with that Guardian. But all members of 100 Thieves already here because of that A control.
DLR shows live stats during the round. Oh shit. That might be something I have to like look into for future watch parties.
Icy taking one. The only real gun left on the side of the attack.
Throw that up on my second monitor.
Superman relieving some of that pressure towards the A side. I mean,
that's real tough with the Guardian. That close like that.
It's still such a fast kill from EU though. Like,
Yeah.
If we're honest, I mean, all Icy sees there is a shoulder, and he dies behind the wall. Superman. He has a flank and has audio cues on a boost.
Yeah, he's 4.
Oh.
3.
Whoa.
Thank goodness EU
There was
got
a
that
chance
trade,
there, but
because
EU,
that
he
could have gotten
settles it
really bad.
For the rest of 100 Thieves. And
That could have gotten really bad.
it really all comes down to this A fight, huh? The name of the game for both these squads is fighting A early on. Ye just doesn't have the timing this time. Gets caught swinging through that smoke.
A really nice shot at Bustio as well.
I like the thought out round though. From
Hey, we did just
Bustio putting a trip there for Asuna.
we did just mention Bustio's got to pick it up a
short,
little
so,
bit.
like,
He
all
got
has
2
to do
kills
is
that
focus
round,
on
so
long. He doesn't have to worry about that Omen TPing across, or if Ye did decide to just lurk through, it's proactivity though.
Oh.
The Sova ultimate.
The Sova ult,
Huge.
the crunch down B long.
and he hit another one, so they have a little bit of intel as well as like
A little bit
damage.
of info on the defense. They should know you're there. Asuna
Dude,
stays alive,
Asuna's
though.
got to be like the most
Thrown to re-clear
annoying
towards
player to
grass.
play against when he's on
They're
Neon.
gonna double down on A. Asuna's alone.
I mean,
Ooh.
that's a crazy camera
There's
angle
the
there.
Positive Icy here. This is something that's new, a new look from EG, and it does work.
And of course, it's A.
Wow.
where they find
Okay, we
success.
just got
Yep.
slammed after we used
Liver die by A site.
all of our util.
But that one little
It's
change,
not
though,
great.
Ye being a part of the pack and Icy being the lurk this time around.
Well, I think another
Wow,
big part of the
that's
change is the B crunch. From
Not
the
great
Thieves
with
to
what
call it
we
in
did
that
to start the round.
After there's been so much investment, so much focus on fighting for
Not
MA.
great.
Yeah.
We do have
Pretty cool
3
trap
ults
idea,
though.
Sova ult, they fight down window. It just wasn't enough.
The thing is this is 100 Thieves' identity on this defensive side, is just taking pushes
Oh.
onto the attackers. And they understand that EG, when they're set up to do these site executes, it's clean, man. Like, the synergy is there. It looks like EG actually dry run all their strats on the attacking sides. So just not wanting them
EG's
to
team
actually get
play
in those
is like
spots where
really
they can
good.
Get set up, get into a post
I
plan.
feel like,
Back to A main aggression from the defense.
I mean, even just
Boosty
seeing
playing
it on
C
that
by
round.
himself. And yeah, Xander's close by. But for all intents and purposes, he is alone right now.
I don't think they saw him
Staying
garage.
Trying to outplay the drone. He's going to get hit by that ultimate. Oh, he just dodges it.
There's a lot.
Wait,
of
how does
here.
that ult work?
I mean, you're gonna have them TP out onto site, fully committing onto this C hit. Reinforcements at the ready though for the defense. Last round of the half. Is that another whiffed ult?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
He didn't pull
Parano's
anybody
gonna connect on
again.
the two, though. Asuna popping his ult and immediately dropped. As Evil Geniuses refuse to relent
man.
on C.
That's
what I'm
not
saying. Each of their
ideal.
site
That's
executes are
not
so
ideal.
hard to deal with. You can't really find an opening. It seems like every single spot is covered. And then the synergy that they have in the post plan as well. It's just too much to handle. That's why 100 Thieves were playing so aggressive on their defensive side, trying to disrupt so things like this couldn't happen.
Enemy remaining.
Have to point out that Ye is online. 16 and 7 on the Sentinel roll, but the defensive side is where EG lacks the most, Doug.
Yeah, we'll see how it pans out on the other side of this break. We'll be back shortly. Thank you.
Well, unfortunately, we didn't get that 12-0
Red Bull gives you
that we were hoping for. Unfortunately, that one did not go through. Sorry, guys, I'm getting my my tweets out, my update tweets out. I don't know
As
if
we
I
mentioned
have...
before, Evil Geniuses have yet to tango with map 3. They also have yet to take a series off of 100 Thieves, and they're in a position here where they might be able to extend it 6-6 at halftime here, Dre.
Yeah, and on the flip side, 100 Thieves, last 3 matches have gone map 3, which went to losses. 3 map 3 losses. Most notably that 13-1
3
on
map
the
3
split,
losses.
which is where we will be going to next.
That's not ideal.
If EG can
And we go
win
to
this
split next.
map
We did
of
not look
Haven.
good on
And again,
split.
historically, that's been a really big if. Let's talk about compositions here, Dre. You've got the double duelist comp from 100 Thieves. What can we expect? Is it going to be a lot of this fast-paced aggression?
Yeah, it's a lot to handle. I mean, it's already a fast-paced aggression into the B site. They're going to have this for free, and EG...
It's a fake.
It's a fake. But listen, Doug, EG have struggled with retaking on this map.
Damn, this is a big
you
time
saw
fake.
that the most against Furia.
The trip gets caught. Now you know it's a split towards C. There's
Okay,
a lot to
big
deal
pick
with
from
here.
Asuna.
He cannot fight back. Derek might be next up on the menu, but a really nice shot onto one duelist.
Damn.
Almost connects onto the second.
A jumping
That dink is
headshot.
brutal.
That's kind of crazy. Precise
Damage done. I don't
gunplay,
know if
by
it's
the
gonna be
way.
enough here, though. All 3 members are grouping up in this garage. That cam is going to see them.
I like that smoke down long to suggest that that might be where they're coming from, but all presence garage.
Oh, throw that. Throw that.
This late
Yep.
in the round, that's insane. Now they know where they all are. You mentioned that Evil Geniuses have struggled on retakes, and
Nice.
that might continue to be the case. Superman in
Okay,
nature.
not great.
Side
Not
by
great.
side. Settling numbers down. Xander gets it down to 1. It's Cryo, 22 HP. Time is short
Nice.
on the swing. It's Cryo who saves the day again for 100 Thieves.
Well, I mean, for a second, I thought
Cryo's
Nature was
having
gonna
himself
get
a
that. I mean,
series
he's
right
been
now.
so good in these 1v whatever scenarios.
has looked really
he's so
good.
quick on the wide swings. This map, he's been a little bit quiet.
He's clicking
But that
heads.
fast-paced
Can I
aggression
just say
because of the
I got
double
3
duelists,
kills
I mean,
against
they
that
tap
guy.
day, they go back
I did get 3
Asuna
kills
still
against
somehow
him.
gets the pick. Fast trade here from Derek, but the damage was already done. The site
I
was
will
already
never live
gathered
that
without
down.
even using paranoia. It's going to be another C look from 100 Thieves, conditioning that they like to abuse this site early on, and maybe that'll open up some of that A defaulting in the later half.
I mean, there's no trips
Well,
up
they're
over
making plenty
here.
of noise. Yay,
Wow,
continues
that's
to be good.
an insane shot. That's an
One of the
insane
bright
shot.
spots for this Evil Geniuses roster.
Yeah, with that paranoia being used as well from the rotations of
Wish I could
EG,
shoot like that.
Everybody from 100 Thieves has to back up. There has been a deposit of Icy into short A here, though.
He's got a classic.
Yeah, I would much rather have a shorty in this scenario.
Literally anything but that.
I mean, you never know, though. I mean, if he can get one here, maybe EG can crawl back into this.
I mean, he could get a crazy right click.
It doesn't look like he's going to be tested.
Yeah, and I think 100 Thieves have an idea that somebody could be here. That's why Xander is so cautiously watching the flank. They're going to re-wrap short A here. But again, Icy could be the difference maker here for Evil Geniuses.
Well called by Bustio there. After having lost Asuna, now they're going to try to re-clear short.
Icy's playing it so well. He snuck back.
So position still concealed.
This isn't great. I mean, Cryo's looking at it as long as he doesn't.
Cryo looking away just a long time.
Okay.
Shield is the difference maker.
Stinger with shield was huge.
For as well as he played that, for that to be how it ends is tough. But they've got to fight as this.
Okay.
Got, yeah, he left in 1v2. He's still got the Sheriff in hand.
There we go.
That's now a couple of close rounds that are just barely squeaking by for 100 Thieves, but that might be all it takes.
Man, the power of ISO. And I just feel like in this moment when Icy already has the flank, there's no real need for Ye to also be that, that second lurk over there.
Oh.
Maybe the firepower, if he was within the squad, the trades could have gone in
That got scary. I honestly thought he was going to get that kill on the cryo there.
They bring it back. And they're fully investing into this next round. Yeah, that I don't even want to call it a whiff. It's just
it's
unlucky.
A shield, man.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? Had he seen anybody else there,
he gets
that's a kill.
Here's the A fight.
Derek and Icy having to give some of the space back up. Meanwhile, Cryo crunching in from short. And again, it's a lot of misdirection out from 100 Thieves. Both
didn't take much damage either.
Noise, while the rest of the team and the Spike are going elsewhere. Cam now cleared. Side is theirs.
Post-plant positions are going to be set up here as well. And Cryo is still in spawn. He's going to meet these players pushing through A shortly here.
Sanders fairly weak,
Shield
though.
This time.
Oh, this could be big.
You're not expecting
nice.
It here, man. What? Because why would your duelist still be back here?
Yeah. 100 Thieves are making this map so chaotic for EG's defense.
Yeah, this is what, 2 rounds now where we've seen both duelists just make a ton of noise and that not be where the hit's headed.
It was the same story on that Fracture as well. I mean, maybe not the chamber so much, but Asuna himself on that Neon is dragging so much gravity. EG kind of feel like they have to deal with them.
I mean, I think it's a reasonable thing to expect when you've got your Neon and you've got your ISO.
Dude,
both
Cryo for 4.
showing a lot of presence towards the site.
This guy's a beast.
That's where the hit's probably headed.
This guy is
so
a
you wonder here,
beast.
how much longer will it take before EG starts to read into that? And is that when 100 Thieves fully pull the trigger and send everything towards the site? We've got the mind games fully on display here.
That's exactly what I was going to get into. I'm like, at what point does Potter call the timeout and be like, hey, like, you guys have gotten faked twice already.
Yeah.
Pistol round and now the bonus. You got to be ready for this. Just hold your spots, commit to a retake. And the problem is, if you're not confident in your retake, you cannot play the defensive side of Haven.
This has been a really cool game plan, a really cool approach by 100 Thieves.
Yeah, this map you have to be able to retake. You have to be able to retake on this map.
He falls. He was the only gun they had.
Like, dying like that can just feel so miserable as well for Icy. It's like he knows he has
just
to
so
be
hard
the one
to hold
that
the
makes
site.
the play, and you just get shut down so quickly.
I know exactly where you are.
Now the Cypher ultimate to really paint the picture for 100 Thieves. They can go anywhere they want right now. It's going to be the B site that Asuna is taking.
EG are close by. They have 4 sheriffs. Boosty sidestepping the stun, just barely. Spike's still not committed.
Look at the layers.
Still,
I mean,
yeah,
you took Garage by himself right here. He's going to be a late flank.
Spike planted.
Onto Derek. Derek looks like he might have an idea that this is a play.
He's going to fully wrap around. You might be right.
Oh, he hears it.
Yep. But what are you going to do with the Sheriff? In this spot, they're going to try to flood back in, keeping an eye on the late lurk, and now the late lurk's all that's left.
Huge kills.
Yeah, he's going to get 1. The potential for more, but it's potential unrealized.
Got a couple out of Boostio there. We'd love to see that. We'd love to see that.
Once again, slipping out of the hands of evil geniuses here.
Yeah, it's just a nice 1-3-1 default from 100 Thieves. Make sure they don't get caught off guard by any of the aggressive peeks from that solo rifle. 100 Thieves are aware. I mean, Boostio
good angle there from him.
Aware that Potter likes to cook up these, unique strats of buying hero rifles onto certain players. Something that is
the thing though with Boostio is I do feel like he's much more of the like intangible player. Like he can do well statistically, but I think he does very well
it's like they're expecting it.
with
Superman
just like play homes. I say that and then we get smoked down mid.
I mean, those 2 alone may have just won them the round. Barring heroics, barring a miracle from EU, and that won't be it.
Yeah, I say that and we get smoked down mid, so maybe I'll shut up. Maybe I'll just be quiet.
I mean, great read.
Completely stuffing the front B execute. A lot of people just caught with utility out right there. So 100 Thieves weren't even able to use the ISO ultimate, not able to use anything. A complete disruption.
Maybe we just got IGL diffed right there.
How many times are you going to be put in this spot where there's going to be this walk-up on front B? When 100 Thieves start heavily pressuring the extremities, that's when they're going to be able to bait out your rotations. But it's going to be aggression now for EG, down C long. We saw Icy get punished last time around. Xander gets some info onto him as well.
Yeah, he should have seen that.
Okay.
Yeah, he knows there's someone close by.
I think that's why you see 100 Thieves speeding up into this garage, understanding that usually when you see players down C long, garage is left a little bit weak.
But it's the same approach. It's both duelists being the tip of the spear while the rest of the team isn't there. And think about the utility they showed. They showed the wall, they showed the smoke, they showed a dart.
Now they're just freezing the round. All that
It's
pressure
tough.
from
They have
Icy
so
early
many
on,
people
making
C and like C link.
Very, very far back. I mean, you still haven't even cleared out the cubby. Everything right now is looking towards this C hit. No space was gathered by Boostio at A. Now Spike is going to be gathered. No, not gathered yet. Icy, here's the rotation.
What's the plan here? 40 seconds left. They're trying to get Boosty up towards A.
Do they just wait to try and
Falling for
force the
rotations
rotate
anymore.
here?
I say that, but I look at the D players, and now I'm getting kind of worried. Now it's obvious, though. Here comes the hit.
Oh, he stuck it. Oh, he stuck it. But can't connect the shots. Nature gets the best of him. Cryo pops the ult. Icy waiting on the other side.
Nice.
That's snappy.
What a flick.
And now the spike in disarray as it rotates back A. A ton of space has been taken by Boosty. He's got to win that fight out. Now Ye might be the one to secure it. 9 seconds left, playing behind the cage. He's got to try to stop
big
the
win
defuse,
from
and he
EU.
can't. Rolling Thunder through. Spike now down. 3v3 as Nature swings back out, trying to reclaim the site.
Okay.
And of course, if
2v2.
Cryo keeps things even, it's going to have to be Derek. It's going to have to be a clutch.
Oh
He's
my
gotten it down to
God.
1, but Cryo's waiting on the other side.
Oh, huge win from
Wins
Cryo.
it out for 100 Thieves.
Oh my gosh, what a win.
Cryo not missing a
dude.
beat here.
Once
But
Derek got
EU,
that
the
pick,
impact
dude.
that he's getting
Oh,
from these kills, I mean, how?
I
does
got
he get
so
Ye
nervous.
Full running. This was ridiculous, by the way. The full commit from Xander, I mean, hats off to you, man. Cryo has not slowed down whatsoever. He's still a monster in the server. He's been having such a phenomenal series for himself. 22 and 13
Boostio,
on
they
this
gotta
map.
give him like an extra long headset
But it's got to be said,
cable,
EU
right?
is so clutch for this 100 Thieves roster, making
I mean,
it
that guy
possible for
walks
Cloud to be put in
around
a spot where he can get
stage
those kills.
after the Thieves win
irony of
around.
EU
He's got to have a really
getting that shock
long
dart while you were calling
headphone
his name out,
cable.
was not lost on me.
I can barely even stand up at my desk with my headphone cable. He's got to have
Now
like
very spread defense from the side of EG. An
some
operator
crazy,
online, though, on the
crazy
waylay,
length
taking
cable.
that short A angle.
The investment that 100 Thieves put on A main on their defensive side, and the fact that they've gone there maybe
I mean,
once
this
on
should
attack.
be a really big round if
It's
we were
just
able to
wild.
win it.
Here's the op that you mentioned.
Financially
he's
speaking,
spotted. And the life
that's a
taken.
big pick though from
Not
Icy.
ready for an operator at the other end of that.
Boosty's gonna eat a flash. Really nice use of the cage there to buy him a little bit of time, but the spam connects. Wall now up. Both duelists with spike in hand. Just a tap, waiting for the fight. Ult now drawn out too.
I mean, they're
Good
using a
delay,
lot
though,
of
but the spike will still be planted.
a lot of
Now,
util, no?
This is where EG struggle, but they have numbers advantage like crazy. Proactivity.
Oh,
Gorgeous!
what an ult.
The decay off of the ult. This is a 3v5 that they've likely secured.
Dude, I just heard somebody in the crowd yell, "What are you doing?"
That's perfect.
What an ult, though.
Fantastic display.
I don't even blame EG for that. That's just a great heads up. play from 100 Thieves.
That's
We gotta
a
see that
that's
again.
a
I was
crazy
concerned
round.
About the fact that EG were not flooding behind their own Sova ult.
They just weren't close enough. They wanted to have a cohesive retake, but
That's a crazy
that
round.
vulnerability into the Hunter's Fury, it tags two players right away.
That ult was
Insta-kill.
massive.
No chance, Doug. That's the correct play from EG.
You like a little call there? You like a little call in the 3v5?
That is the correct play from EG. Group up, clear out garage methodically. It's something that they struggled with doing in their last series. But 100 Thieves,
Dan the man
is just
with a
too
massive
far ahead
play.
right now. EU in the flow state. Cryo is hitting every single shot. What an on-the-fly call though from EU.
Steady Red, what's up?
I mean, the impact
What was the
this
score
player
in
has
game
had on this
one?
roster.
The score in game
Can't
one
praise it
was 13.
6 of the last 7 rounds
10,
going for
was
100
it?
Thieves. In the entire half, man. I think this was again. What was it? 6-6 at half.
Yeah.
This thing got out of hand very quickly.
There's just something about
Please
these defensive
close.
sides
Close
of
out
Evil
this match
Geniuses
so you
that
can go to
isn't
bed.
quite clicking, Doug.
Yeah, 13-10. There we go. I was right. I knew it.
I mean, make it to a playoff. Make
Yeah,
it to an
13-10
international ever
Thieves.
again.
So if we close out
Now
this
on the other
round
side of
here,
the timeout, it seems like 100 Thieves are poised to go A.
we get this
An area
win,
that, as we mentioned a
We
little
get
bit
this
ago,
dub.
hasn't really been explored.
which
And EG,
we
full
need.
aggression down C long. It's an eco. I mean, they've got to try something.
It's the perfect call from 100 Thieves. There's only one player here. It's EA. And
he's
he only
playing
has a
off-
sheriff.
He's playing off-site too.
Off-site and with a sheriff.
Yeah, this is big. I knew with
Right
them
off
winning
the
that
timeout.
round, the eco would be
You imagine here,
would be
some of
brutal
this is gonna
for
be decided by
EG. So
timing, because as they've
that
taken all
that
this
play
space
from Dan was
down
huge.
C long, EG have when's the call to rotate back A? No info B.
Because even at that point, I feel
Now
like
you've
even if
got
you
nature
lose the
rotating
round,
over.
it really just screws their eco.
It just feels like it's gonna be an uphill battle for EG right now with the weaponry that they have.
Supa has his ult. Maybe a reposition after showing some
Cryo has ult as
space.
well.
The trip has been cleared, so they know there's at least some flank on the other side. It's Icy who's caught again. Once again into this fight, and it's once again
why do we
a
leave
win by
the
Cryo.
ult?
Nature, yay, left to try to pull a rabbit out of a hat. And
Nice.
13-7 the way of 100 Thieves, a 2-0 series the way of 100 Thieves.
That's a
Again,
nice 2-0 from
spotless
the
record,
Thieves,
5-0,
baby.
undefeated.
We love it.
The prep work.
Thieves are now
shining
1-1
for this squad of 100 Thieves.
with this
letting
stage.
Fracture through, and it hasn't been played in VCT in so long.
It's a big
Understanding that
win.
They can counter
We love to
Potter
see
and
it.
Ko's ability to close out that map. The innovation wasn't enough. And even on this map at Haven, the defense was
Hey, the boys look fresh in their
just flat for Evil
their
Geniuses.
Adidas.
I think there were a lot of cool things that
Big
100 Thieves
win.
showed
Let's
us on
go,
that attack
chat.
side. Again,
Massive,
the fact
massive.
that they made a ton of noise and drew a ton of distraction off of this double duelist comp, and that almost never being where the hit was actually going. The on-the-fly calls that EU hit for the decay off of the ult. I mean, that's perfect.
And also the final boss.
Yes.
Right, of Cryo.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes.
Mans just dropped 2 back-to-back 20 bombs, almost getting 30.
That's Cryo, the star.
Cryo's
That's
a beast,
that's the
dude.
Cryo that people were excited to see join the 100 Thieves roster.
We might see the guys
I mean, if he keeps
on
shooting
Toronto.
like that-
Well, I hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope so.
he could be
I
a
want
little bit
these guys
shaky,
to
but
make a
think
run.
he's
I
got
mean, I
some
feel like
really
they get a
good
lot of
matchups ahead of him. I think they
a
played
lot of
loud
shit
and
for
and crew.
a lot of the ups and downs.
So
But
the rest of the season,
like I
looking
said,
pretty
they're.
good. I mean, nothing
I
is
do think
free.
they are a good team.
But if they can maintain this type of composure, this type of form, especially on Cryo, like you stated, they might be able to make a deep run.
A lot was said.
We
heading
need
into this
ourselves a
series on
deep
the side of
run.
100 Thieves from Zix and a lot of those conversations from Asuna as well. What's going on here? Do they need to just play a little bit more closer together? They talked about the support and the aggressive play, and it really seems like all of that came together today against against an EG roster that pushed them a bit.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely got pushed, but the fundamentals is what shined for me. It's something that Asuna was talking about. We need to go back a little
We
bit.
need Bustio,
take a
Xander, and
step back
Asuna to
before
get
we
more
can start doing
kills.
this intuition
Bustio's the
play
shot
style
caller though,
and
so
really
it's
let
more okay.
our-
Yeah, I mean,
our fraggers
I think
dominate the
it's
game.
definitely more okay for
without the
Bustio
fundies,
because, like I said
you can't
earlier,
have a
I think
player
he's
like
more
Cryo
of
pop
the
off like that. Everything
like the
needs to be set in
brains. He
motion.
does a
You
lot
need
of
to set
the
him up for
intangible
success.
stuff.
And pop off he did. He dropped 26
But
kills in the last
especially
map.
Asuna,
Lost
I think
count
with
of how
him
many
being
it
a
was, plus
duelist,
20.
you would like to
On
see
the
more
first
out of
map,
him.
Cryo had himself a freakish
But
day.
I mean,
10-0
as long as you're
against EA on the
winning, I
first
think
map.
like
The Senti
the
versus
stats
Senti
shouldn't
matchup,
really
yes, he was
matter
on
too
chamber.
much.
Not that fair,
I
but
think
still,
that's like the
what a
main
performance.
thing.
100 Thieves walk away up 2-0 over Evil Geniuses. We're going to throw it down to Riv on the stage for the Verizon post-match interview with who else but Cryocells.
Ryo.
I am joined by 100 Thieves Cryocells as they mastermind a victory over evil geniuses here in our first series of the day. Last week it looked a little rough for the team. Right after that first game, or right after that last game against Sen, I should say, what was the repairs, the things the team was talking about right away?
We just really heavily focus on playing off each other and just playing with teamwork. We're a team that just kind of trusts the process the whole time, so we think the results will come.
Absolutely. I mean, Thrifties made the results really happen today, but I want to talk about you. For the past, I'd say, year, seems like you're reinventing yourself. We've seen you on Cypher Haven, we've seen you on a bunch of other things, Jet on the Fracture, Chamber now on the Fracture. What's it been like kind of reinventing yourself from the duelist, but also still kind of playing a role where you have to be up front sometimes?
It's definitely a hard process, to be honest, but I think we just have a pretty special roster where they'll just have me on different agents. At some point, I was on 6 different agents for all 6 maps, so it's really hard to like change play styles between them, but it's a process for sure.
That's actually my next question. I love that you said that, because how does that work with Zix? Is he knows you can play so much. Does he come to you and like, what about this? What about this? Or is it collaborative? You say, I'm feeling something on a preference map.
To be honest, he just comes to me. He's like, yo, I wanted to try you on this agent. And yeah, I'm like, I'm down, you know? So, yeah.
That's amazing. What's your favorite right now? What are you really vibing with?
Probably ISO.
Okay, the ISO does look good. You have 100 Thieves versus Loud next. How are you feeling about Loud? The group's actually looking pretty strong.
I think no matter what, despite our win today, we've been feeling super good in scrims, and even our match against Sen, we're just like kind of reaching our peak form, to be honest.
All right, still building up. Kyle, thank you so much for your time today.
We love that. We love to hear that.
More games as well to come. It's going to be MIBR versus G2. Do not go anywhere. We got more VCT Americas to come.
Sorry, but I will be going somewhere. I am not going to watch the next Valorant match. I was here for the Thieves match, and that was it. Great win. Great win from the Thieves. I don't know when that Loud match is. Do you guys, chat, do you guys know when the Loud match is? I would assume it's either like the next couple days or it's like next weekend. I'm just not 100% sure. But I'll try to be live for that as well, depending on when it is. I will say for everybody who watched today, if you guys are more of the Valorant fans and that's what you're here for, I am more of Call of Duty. So if Valorant and Call of Duty are playing at the same time, I'm probably going to go with Call of Duty first, just because I know more about Call of Duty. So when it comes to the watch parties, Call of Duty will be like my #1 priority, just as a warning for everybody. But if they're not playing at the same time, I will be watching the Valorant matches and the Rivals matches when I can. They play on Friday? Okay. So I'll have to see if COD starts around then, but if not, then we will still be watching the Valorant match. And I only watch the Thieves Call of Duty team. I don't watch I try not to watch all the broadcasts. So if the Thieves don't play it, say this weekend, if the Thieves were to play for Call of Duty, but they don't play Friday, I won't go live Friday for the other Call of Duty matches. So then, we won't really have a problem with Val. But you're here for all Thieves in general? Okay. I like to hear that. That's what we like. But yeah, I think that's going to do it for the watch party today. I appreciate everybody who came by and hung out while the match was going on. We got to see a good 2-0 win for the Thieves, so very happy about that. And like I said, ideally we'll get to watch some more of these, and I can get used to some new faces who are coming in to watch 100T Valorant, maybe specifically. But yeah, I appreciate everybody who tuned in. Hope to see you guys in some future watch parties, and I hope you all have a good rest of your day or night, wherever you're at. Have a good one, guys. Peace.